everybody, and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League, the show dedicated to everything from the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, the Vanarama National League, National League North and South, and FA Cup qualifiers this week, which I'm really, really happy to talk because we won. Before we get into it, though, I do want to apologise to anyone in the chat or you guys. If I do mute myself or if I can't get to it quick enough, I have got a really bad cough and I sound like Marge Simpson. So I'm just warning you now. But everyone in the chat as well, I want to know your thoughts. I'm going to do it a little bit different this week because we did have really exciting news what got announced. I think it was yesterday. But we do have a new manager for our national team, Tommy Tuchel, or Tommy Tukes, as I love to call him. We're not friends yet anyway, but I do like to call him on this basis because I do really like him. But Rebecca, what's your thoughts on the appointment? Are you excited for this new era of England?
Yeah, it's an exciting one. It's an interesting appointment. I mean, there's been quite a few comments going about with backlash as towards him, but no, we've all seen what he could do with Chelsea. We've seen that he knows how to go on and win things, and it's one of them where he knows the players over here. He's been abroad, he knows his stuff, and it's clear with how he's done recently. We have got some of the best players in the world, and we just haven't had the manager to be able to take them to the next level. So it will be interesting to see if he is the one to do that, and I do think he could be.
I really hope so. Really hope so. Ben, obviously, you like Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel, are you impressed? What's your thoughts on him? Because obviously you know him more than us, like being Chelsea as well.
I'm over the moon with it, to be honest with you. We've always said we've got, like Rebecca said, we've got some of the best players in the world. We've got a world-class team, but we needed a world-class coach. And I put it on Twitter yesterday. I think the trouble is we can't afford at this stage now with some of the players to gamble on another English manager that hasn't won anything and, just to set us up for failure again. So I'm absolutely delighted about him coming because that's the thing. He knows a good few of the Chelsea players, obviously, that, have played. But the best thing is the fact that he's managed in the Premier League. Most of these players are playing in the Premier League. So he already knows the league. He knows it all well about how the team play, how the players play. Whereas a bit different when we've had foreign managers in the past with Sven and Fabio Capello. They've never obviously managed in the Premier League. So, it's a bit different this time because this is someone that actually gets the English game. So, yeah, from that perspective, I'm absolutely pleased because I know there's a lot of comments, been a lot of backlash because he's got a German passport. It doesn't bother me. Why does it bother everyone? I don't understand. It's coming from the pundits as well. It's like, if he can do the job, and that's the thing, and he's such a likable guy as well. I absolutely love listening to him in his interviews. He's very tactically aware. He sets up teams really well. And then look at Chelsea. He took Chelsea, who were on a sinking ship, to to winning the Champions League and the Club World Cup. So he's got to be doing something right. So I'm absolutely pleased that we've got him on board, and hopefully now football might be coming home in a couple of years' time.
I hope so. Are we all going to sing the Atomic Kitten song, but not Southgate anymore?
Yeah. It's fine.
Jen, are you on the Tommy Tukes train or are you being controversial?
No, I'm 100% on the train.
Yes.
Everyone said, he's a proven winner. He knows how to win. And we have a phenomenal, English team. There's so many players in there that are incredible. And obviously we've got youngsters as well that are also up and coming that are going to come in at some point. And I feel like he's the right person to take this team to win something. And I don't get if you're an English side, you should have an English manager. Why does it matter where he's from? As long as he knows how to manage the team, get them to work well, win trophies. That's all that matters. Why does it matter what his nationality is? He knows half of them players on the team. He knows how they work. I just think he's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to get started next year with him.
I'm dead excited. I don't know if you can tell.
Coming on. Finding it now.
There is a lot of people in the chat, and hi, I was putting your comments up, obviously, when we were talking, but I want to know your opinion. So, Simon, we've got Happy Simon. Wow. Wow.
What's
Stop
going
the podcast. Bless him. I'm only joking, Simon. It is banter, by the way. He has put, great to appointment. As long as he can win us something, I couldn't give a stuff what nationality he is. Yes, he is on the Tommy Tuchel trade. We have got a winner.
That's it.
No wonder my voice is always gone when I'm screaming.
Screaming, shouting.
Graham has put, the media reaction has been disgraceful. He's a top manager and knows how to play and get results. He should be judged on performance and results and nothing else. I just think the media in general are a disgrace.
Yeah, they always go for like England, don't they, anyway? So it's not going to make a difference who the manager is.
Exactly. We have got as well Dietrich. Hi, Dietrich. We needed a coach that's a proven winner. Yes.
Yes.
Hell to the yes. As you can tell, I'm very excited about this. We've seen Gareth Southgate.
Oh,
Gareth Southgate, as much as what he did for, I don't want to call him, as much as what he did for us, like, fair play, thank you so much. But from Gareth Southgate to Tommy Tooks, come on. You have to call him Tommy Tooks now, everyone on the podcast. Hashtag Tommy Tooks. We've got our very own Josh as well. Hi, Josh. He's put, as a Welshman, I'm gutted. England have a good manager, and with that team, they could do some damage. Yes. One thing before we move on, I did want to talk about. What are your thoughts on this? Because they did ask him, and it annoyed me a little bit, to be fair, because it's like, he's just come in, had his press conference, and they're asking him in his press conference, will you be singing a national anthem? And he is a German man, to be fair, isn't he? So obviously, he's not an Englishman, as we all know, we've all established. But are you annoyed if he doesn't sing the national anthem? Rebecca, I'll ask you first.
No. It's one of them, like, out of respect to him. And I mean, if he was to stand there and we're against Germany and he sings the German national anthem, I think that would cause a bit of controversy. But I feel as though if he's just, I don't understand why, like, the players have to sing it, because they're all out of time. Some of them are singing louder than others. So when the camera zooms in, you've got Declan Rice like belting his lungs out, but then the rest of them are just whispering it. So it's one of them. It's like, it should be personal choice, and if he doesn't want to sing it, it's respectful to him to not have to.
Definitely. Ben, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, to be honest. Like, would you expect an English manager to start singing the German national anthem? That's the thing. Like, I don't see that. It's a bit different because obviously Lee Carlson sort of threw himself under the bus a little bit, with his comments about singing the national anthem, which obviously I'd get. But obviously, being a German manager, I wouldn't expect him to. I always remember Jurgen Klinsmann always used to sing the US national anthem, though, when he was the coach there. Yeah. And obviously, I find that I found it really a bit weird. I'm thinking, like, he's a German, man, and he's singing the US national anthem. So it doesn't really bother me. But the thing is, like, we were just saying, obviously, about the appointment just quickly. I mean, did we have this reaction when the Lionesses won the Euros a couple years ago?
Exactly.
Just saying, is anyone going to talk about that? That's the thing. The media just want to find some story. They want to catch him out early. And I'm thinking, look, if this was Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp, they wouldn't be going for him at all. It's because he hasn't got a Premier League title or anything like that, but he's got a Champions League, which is just a little bit better. So yeah, a national anthem doesn't bother me at all. He can do what he wants. Like I said, as long as Rebecca says, as long as he doesn't say the German national anthem, we face them in the final.
Do what he wants. He's Tommy Tuchel. He does what he wants. Jen, your thoughts on the national anthem? Are you bothered if he sings it or not?
No, I don't get this whole, oh my God, you have to sing the national anthem. If you don't sing the national anthem, you're not English. Like, why does it matter? Like, if you want to sing it, go for it. If you don't want to sing it, that's totally fine. Like, some of the English lads obviously were born in different countries, or they were born in England, but they've been brought up on, like, by the parents in, like, a different nationality. Like, they don't have to sing the national anthem. Like, it's just stupid. I don't get this agenda of, oh my God, you've got to sing it. It doesn't make sense.
I wanted to bring this comment up as well because Glenn is so right. He's put, judge a manager on his results on the pitch. Did Sven Capello or Reitman sing the national anthem? I don't think they did. Can't remember them. No. Exactly. So English media, stop it. Stop it. You've been told Absolute Football Podcast. Wind your neck in. Everyone's like, you tell them, Shah. Yeah, I will tell them. I am squinting at the comments because you know what? I can't see properly. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. So, yeah. Should we talk some other football? We are all on the Tommy Tuchel train. I think everybody else in the chat is also on that same train. So we will start with League One. And you know me, I love doing graphics, don't I? They usually take me a fair while to do them as well. This one was the longest out of a lot of them. I mean, look at this one. If I made a mistake, imagine if I made a mistake. So the first game, Crawley Town 3, Shrewsbury Town 5. Who wants to talk about this one? Anyone? I mean, Marquis scored for Shrewsbury, and that's one person who I feel like he's been around for ages, John Marquis.
Yeah, I always remember his Jules.
Yeah.
I think there was I can't remember which team was it. I think it could have been Crawley. They had a player sent off, Josh Flint. He was booked in the 53rd minute and then received his second yellow 3 minutes later. So
how's that Malcolm that?
No, yeah, I think to be honest, it's a big result for Shrewsbury. I think, like I say, I mean, I guess you're looking at it already as a relegation 6 points or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But, you know, that's the thing. The fact there was only, like, say, 2 games in the division, but he still managed, you know, what, 14 goals or whatever it is, then that's...
I know, Graham just mentioned
that. They were keeping soccer Saturday quiet, probably, weren't they? But
yeah,
yeah, like I said, they go away from home. Shrewsbury, obviously, like I say, they've had a tough start, struggling to score goals at the moment, but scoring 5 away from home against a side that maybe they'll be probably down at the bottom with them. That's a big, 3 points for them at this stage, and lifts them above them, I think, in the table as well. So yeah, I think Shrewsbury was one of those, even at this stage, they couldn't really afford to lose. I think because of the gap at the moment. And that's the thing, again, like I've always said about week on week, it's these sides need to be picking up the points against the teams around them, and that's a big down for Crawley. Obviously, what's been a difficult few weeks, obviously with losing management as well. Obviously, Rob Elliott's still getting used to the job, but yeah, for Shrewsbury, fair play to them. That's a big result. Might just give them that lift they need.
Just going to the chat as well. Dietrich has mentioned our former player Alex. I can't even say that. Is at Shrewsbury now, so want them to do well. Graham has put, I remember John Marquis missing a penalty against us in the playoff semi-final a few years back. He's just a shit Andy Carroll. Language, Graham. We don't tolerate bad language on this podcast. We are very sophisticated and eloquent.
Yeah.
Exactly, aren't we? I love how no one's agreeing, even us lot. Ella just put, hopefully Exeter win today. Oh yeah, please keep us updated. Salop winning the league. Kieran, really? Really?
God.
Obviously the next game we have Peterborough 3, Rotherham United 3, and I'm pretty sure Steve Evans also got booked in this game from what I can remember.
Going on.
As well, Luke's put, don't diss Andy Carroll now, he's one of our own. Sorry, Shah, just filling in for Claire. I know. Yeah, okay, Shah. I told you we are so elegant now. I mean, the people on here this week might be very sophisticated, aren't we, crew?
We are.
So, any shocks in this one? I mean,
Rotherham busted a 3-1 lead, didn't they? So it's like away from home. I know obviously their away record's not been great the last couple of years. I mean, they only got their first away win of this, for a good couple of years, not long back against Cambridge, wasn't it? So that would have been a big 3-pointer away from home against a team that are always in the playoffs and every year. And again, that would have been a big statement for Rotherham, to be fair, because everyone backs them, and I still would have backed them to be in and around that playoff area at this stage. But obviously they've still coming to terms with it a little bit. They're a couple of games in front of everyone else. So, I don't know what's going on down there at the moment. I thought Stevens was just going to go and roll it over there. I thought they'd be maybe where Wrexham are at the moment, but it's not quite panned out that way for them, and it just shows no matter what team you are, or whatever, and what the records you previously have in the division. If you don't do it now, then it's no good to you. You'll just slip through the division. So that's one thing they can't afford to do, is go into League Two after what happened last year in the Championship. So yeah, Steve Evans got a little bit of work to do there, and him stop getting books might be a start to that. All that.
Definitely. From a Peterborough side as well, they're actually sitting 12th at the minute on 15 points. So not bad, to be fair. We're only a couple of points off playoffs. So what do we think of Peterborough? Because I really like what they're doing. I feel like they've got a lot of young up-and-coming players, Peterborough. They're obviously poaching and getting them from the National League. I'm not going to be bitter. I'm not going to be bitter, I promise this week. I have changed. I'm a changed woman. Not going to be bitter, but I feel like they are doing it quite good, Peterborough, getting these young up-and-coming players and kind of building for the future. And they've had a pretty decent start, haven't they, to be fair?
Yeah.
You all agree?
Yeah. I feel as though like what you're saying about bringing up like the younger players, it's like the development for the future is one of the key things that they're focusing on, but it is working for them, and you are seeing the impact that the younger ones are having.
Definitely. Anything else to add on these two games, or should we move on?
Sorry,
move on. No. Claire was supposed to be on as well. Anyone? She's our League One knowledge, so do apologise. Yes. Blade Ramble has put, obviously, in the chat, Posh do but are young and bring their players on well, need to pick up and push on. No, yeah, I completely agree with that comment, to be fair. And Luke has put, the fourth officials that has to deal with Steve Evans. I know. I bet we're used to him now, though, aren't they?
That would be the best thing ever. You get Steve Evans and Mark White on the same touchline. That would be the best thing ever. What's that? A bunch of amateurs. 100%. Official, we're having PSD out of it. Or PSD out of it.
Imagine we should do a podcast like Gogglebox, but watching like Mark White and all of his interviews and everything.
I'm so down for that.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I'm down for that.
We should honestly do like a Gogglebox. That. Imagine.
That'd be great.
Right. So the table. So top of the table, we have Birmingham on 22 points. Wrexham are second on 20 points. Mansfield are third on 20 points. Lincoln City are fourth on 18 points. Wycombe Wanderers are fifth on 17 points. Stockport County are sixth and still are in the playoffs at the moment on 16 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Shrewsbury Town on 8 points. Crawley Town are 22nd on 7 points. Burton Albion, sorry everyone, are 23rd on 4 points. And bottom, they are still bottom, but they didn't play, to be fair to them, so we will cut them some slack. We do have Cambridge, who have 1 point.
It's all very tight, isn't it? Very tight.
Very tight.
Yeah. There's like 3 points between 6th place and was it 18th? I know there's a few teams have played a few more games than others and all that, but even then, it's still pretty insane. I know it's still early days, but that's a exciting league, and that's the thing. Like we've said about Peterborough, you think they're in 12th, but one win puts them up to maybe 5th possibly. So that just shows how much open the division's been so far this season. It is a bit of a surprise how it's panning out at the moment, especially with all the new promoted teams that have come out. They're still in and around there, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I have got a question for you all first, what we have got in the chat. I'm going to ask each and every one of you, and it is about League One. So, Blade Ramble has put, random question, Wrexham, fairy tale story or buying success? Ben, I'm going to come to you first. I'll let you be all controversial first.
I don't want to be that guy to Alid, but personally, I think it is buying success. They had a League One team in the National League. I mean, don't get me wrong, you've got to do the job, haven't you, at the end of the day? And like I said, they had a good 10, 15 years, wherever it is, in the National League. So, obviously, I think I've always said, as soon as you get out of that division, it becomes a little bit easier, I personally think, because, the chances of going down are, less, and going up is obviously a big possibility because there's 4 promotion spots rather than 2. So, yeah, my personal opinion is I think it is buying success. But then again, that's said that to Wrexham, they have hit the jackpot, haven't they? I've always said that. They've got probably owners that we'd all love in our football clubs, to be perfectly honest. It doesn't matter how much you love your owners, you'd love like a Hollywood actor, one of the biggest stars in the world to be, the owner of your football club and bringing all this interest in. I mean, it's fair play to them, because that's, there's a lot of their supporters have been going hardcore, the ones that have seen the dark times down there, then they've earned it. That's the thing. But for me, yeah, I think fairy tale is probably a bit too far, to be perfectly honest. And I think Wrexham, they're there because they've got a lot of money. But if they can get themselves into the Championship, then, who knows? Because then it becomes a different ball game in terms of the money, because it's so much more we see in the Championship compared to League One.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see if they did go up again, how they would cope in the Championship. Because if they did go and get promotion with the current owners, then I would probably say, yeah, maybe it is a fairy tale. So, yeah, I think at the moment we'll keep it as by success.
Just before I ask you, Jen, and you, Rebecca, as well, we have a new person in the chat. Tonbridge Angels FA Cup is a good match for both teams to go next round. And they've said hi, so hi. And please stay tuned, because we are doing the FA Cup at the end of the show. But we're getting all the league action out the way, and then we will be doing FA Cup. So please stay tuned. Send in your match report as well, anybody who has been to a game over the weekend. Rebecca, I'm going to ask your thoughts on this before I ask Jen and then go to the chat.
I agree with Ben. I mean, like the players that they were able to buy while in like National League, it was crazy. And then to see like the progression now it is, I do think money has a big part to play in it. I mean, they did play decent football to be able to get to this point, and like fair play to Wrexham. I'm unfortunate, apologies, but I'm not their biggest fan. But I do think it is more of a case of money have pushed them to be where they are, but they do play all right football at times.
Jen, what do you think? Are you going to be a bit more nicer to Wrexham, or do you agree?
We got battered 6-0 away.
No. Sorry, Alex, and any other Wrexham fans.
Sorry. We got battered 6-0. It was the worst away day of my life. Couldn't even drink beer. It was scandalous. But no, I think the buying success is right, because obviously they've got the owners that everyone dreams of. If we had owners like that, we wouldn't be in the mess that we are right now. It's as simple as that. So I think they are very lucky to have the owners that they do. They have incredible players. Paul Mullin, who used to play for us years and years ago, but he's incredible, and obviously he's done amazing things for Wrexham. But I do think that they are definitely buying their way up the leagues at the minute. I wasn't surprised to see them up there in League One, to be honest, with the amount of money that they've got, the players that they've got. So it's just to see if they can get out of League One. And like Ben said, Championship is a completely different ball game. You've got teams like Sunderland, but like, who else have you got? Like big, massive teams up there that they are going to have to fight against. And if they can do it in the Championship, then yeah, maybe I'll say, okay, it's a fairy tale. But as for now, I still think it is buying success. And a team like that against a team like Morecambe or Accrington in League Two, they're always going to get promoted out of League Two, because if you've got the money and you've got the right owners behind you in League Two, it's so easy to get out of that league. But if you're struggling, you have awful owners, you're at the bottom of the table. It was a completely different ballgame when Wrexham were in the league last year, and it felt. I'm not Wrexham's biggest fan, like Rebecca, because it felt like when they were in League Two, it was all about them. It was all about them. They got all the TV time. Again, like the FA Cup TV fixtures come out, they're on TV again. If we could have got TV for the FA Cup, like we're against a team that's like miles away from us. Like we're 5 hours drive and we're not on TV. That FA Cup money could have helped us massively, but Wrexham are on TV. It just feels like it's always going to be, well, we've got to watch Wrexham on TV. So as for now, I think it is buying success. We'll see what happens at the end of the season, if they go up and if they survive in the Championship. But I'd love to have an owner like them, but it's just one of them, innit? They got very, very lucky to get Ryan involved in that club.
Yeah.
I completely agree. One thing that I do I do feel like a lot of this is down to the media as well, and always mentioning Wrexham and stuff. So I do want to kind of, as much as obviously we've said about it and the success thing and buying and the spending money, I think a lot of why people kind of dislike them as well is because there's so much talk from the media side of things as well. So I do want to kind of defend them on that. As much as I don't want to be controversial and go against you guys, I do think a lot of the media are always going on about them. And obviously, because Ryan Reynolds is so big, and obviously Rob I can't say his name.
I can't say his name.
So in their defence, I do think a lot of it is because of that. And obviously the deals with Disney Plus and things. We will go to the chat as well. Oh, there's a lot. I do feel a little bit sorry for Alan at the minute because
getting all the abuse
there's
from
a
him.
lot of Wrexham slander. That's why I wanted to kind of defend him a little bit on that one. There's a lot of people sitting on the fence as well. So Glenn has put a combination of both. Because obviously we can't discredit them as well. I know we've spent the money and stuff, but the players have got there. The players have obviously done whatever, got the results and stuff to get them promoted. So give them credit for that. Aled, bless him, has put, as a Wrexham fan, it feels like a fairy tale as I never thought this would happen when we were on our 10th season in non-league. I am happy for Wrexham fans, especially people like Aled and the people who have been there all the way through. And obviously they've seen them at the lowest time. So to get this fairy tale and the story, I'm so happy for them because obviously a lot of our teams have been through struggles as well, haven't they? Obviously, Jen, your team's still going through struggles. So for those fans and those kind of fans who haven't jumped on board, I'm really happy for them. Because I remember Wrexham when they were in League Two with us, obviously before then they went down. And yeah, it's quite sad what happened. Glenn has put, they've not splashed the cash to the level Birmingham, Ipswich, etc. have at this level. Johnny has put both. Kieran has put both. There's a lot of people sitting on the fence here. Come on, be controversial. We want controversial answers. Exactly, stop sitting on the fence, man. Stop it. Wrexham have hype. Do we all agree they are being hyped up?
Yeah, I think that's a media thing, isn't it? As well, isn't it? Like they've got the cameras around them all the time. Like I remember when they came to us last season, they were asking to have like 14 spaces on the press deck, and there's only like 8 chairs there, and it's just like, mate, we're not that big of a club. We can't have 14 people there. Like you can only struggle with about 8. So I don't think that's happening.
Because like with them being picked for FA Cup, like being on TV, like it's not Wrexham that have been like, yeah, we're going on TV. It is like the FA Cup and like the ITV or BBC, whichever one it's being played on, that have like picked them to be on TV. So it's one of them. It's like you've said, the media aren't helping because they're the ones that have picked for this match to go on TV again. So it's like your anger is aimed at, it seems, Wrexham because they're back on TV, but it's the media that are like contributing to that.
Because at the end of the day, they always pick the games based on what they think is going to be the biggest audience. I think that's what you've always tried to figure out. Because that's the thing. Like as much, I would have loved our game against Stevenage to be on TV last year, which it should have been personally. Yeah. But they're going with, oh look, they're 2 Premier League teams. There'll be a good number of fans that'll watch the game in that. That's the thing. They know full well they'll watch it. Yeah. Whereas sometimes I think, it's not many Mason fans. Most of them be at the game. Who's going to watch that? Yeah. So I get why they've done it from a business perspective. But again, it doesn't make us any less frustrated with it. Because it's like, look, Wrexham are always on TV all the time. They don't need the money. They don't need the exposure. We know how big they are now worldwide. Give one of the lower sides a chance to show them, showcase themselves. Like I say, we were talking, Jed, about the fact the Worthing Morecambe game wasn't picked. I think that would have been a great pick, personally.
It would have been a cracker of a game, that. Like, 100%. Obviously, we're going to go there. We're going to think, oh my God, we're going to beat them. But anything could happen there. Like, we don't know the players. We don't know how they play. It's going to be one of them where it's going to be like, we'll see what happens. And it is the FA Cup. Anything could happen. And it's like, it is a 5-hour journey for the lads. They'll probably have to either go the night before and stay over or get up really early and travel down. And I think having it on TV would have been incredible to get exposure for both teams out there. Because we've seen how it has been for Morecambe when we've been on TV. That Monday night game was probably one of the best Monday night games you could have got from a League Two side. So to see that we wasn't picked on TV, like a lot of the media team at Morecambe were thinking we're going to be picked. It's going to be like a Friday night or a Sunday afternoon, and to see it today, it wasn't picked. It was a bit frustrating because it's a bit like, oh, these sides are picked again. They're not really looking at the lower teams to go on TV and get the cash that's needed for the clubs.
And I would have got it as well had they picked the Worthing game, because obviously the documentary that's recently come out about the owner. I would have totally got it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like in this stars, the Wrexham documentary's been going for the last three years, and you think, why do we need more and more exposure for them? I just don't get it. Like from a fan's perspective, because I don't want to watch that. I see. I would have rather, like I said, the only game I would have had, from the two league sides in that draw was Milton Keynes versus AFC Wimbledon. That would have been the game I would watch, because everyone loves that game because it's the real grudge match.
Yeah.
But obviously didn't even think that, did they? So I don't really know what to say about it.
I can't believe they didn't pick Bromley against Rochdale. What a thriller that was.
It's funny on mates, what are they doing?
Honestly, that FA Cup draw, though, when it came out, the only good thing about that, and fair play to Bromley fans as well, because I bet they thought, what an underwhelming draw. But yeah, I thought the only good thing about that is we're at home.
We never get home. I think the last time we got home was like 6 years ago. We're always away for the first game. I don't know why they just don't like us, but we just don't get home games.
I was just so glad we escaped Tranmere. We've had them in the Carabao Cup. We've had them in the Bristol Street Motors Cup. We're all there predicting we're getting them away in the FA Cup. They got pulled out. I think every Aki fan's like, right, here we come, but we didn't, so we were quite happy with that one.
Like me with Rotherham. Honestly, the amount of times we played Rotherham in the cup is ridiculous. I was just like, here we go. Going away again. 7th down, here we go. Not at home. It'll be away.
Just quickly going back to this, and we will move on. Aled, bless him. He has took a lot of hate. I thought we were going to be stuck in non-league forever, bless him. Simon has put, they had Paul Mullin, a Football League player, when they were in National League, so I'd say buying success. This, to be fair, it's a fairy tale that's been bankrolled. I feel so bad for Aled right now. I feel so bad for him. Love you, Aled.
Sorry.
I tried. Teachers put, I think buying success, couldn't agree more with what everyone has said. Wish we could all have owners like that. If they can compete in a championship when that happens, then definitely a fairy tale. I think what they're doing though for the whole community and everything is brilliant. And some of the stuff that they have introduced and things, I think is absolutely brilliant as well, to be fair to them.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. And Johnny's put, they came close to beating us a few years ago in the cup. We've got as well, Chris, he's put, they are buying success, but the structure they have built in such a short space of time has been incredible. This is what I was talking about. I really think it has. Yeah, we'd all take it though, wouldn't we? We've all said it, haven't we? 100%.
Miles, please. Anyone, John Cena, you're available. Come on.
Kieran has put, the Wrexham slander is music to my ears. Damn, should we all start complimenting him now? Because Kieran's happy with it. Love you, Wrexham. Luke has put, it's a mixture of both for him. Simon has put as well, there's nothing wrong with buying success unless you're Man City. Kieran has put, you want controversy, they'd still be rotting in National League without their ownership. That's very harsh. Kieran. I think that's pretty much everything. One for you, Ben.
Yeah. To be honest with you, Simon, I still picture that in my mind when I look, and that was 3 balls left, and one of them was Man City, and one of them was us. All we needed was Luton Town to come out, and it was ruined. Thanks a lot, Glenn Johnson.
Ruined my life.
We had a good night out at Coventry. It was fine.
Right, League 2. So first, I'm going to ask your standout. So do you know what, Ben? I'm going to come to you first. Any standouts on here for you, or any you want to talk about?
I know Rebecca's going to come on to it, but it is the standout result of the weekend for me. Gillingham 1, Accrington 2. Like, I don't think anyone would have seen that one coming, let's be honest. And I managed to catch the goals. It was a cracking, finish for the winning goal, to be fair. 94 minutes on the clock? That's the thing, like, Gills have suddenly, they've hit a patch now, and I knew they would probably at this stage. They always seem to. They start really well, and then suddenly they dip a little side. They're slowly dipping out of those promotion places at the moment. So, You know, the manager's got a little bit of work to do there to make sure they get back on track because, you know, with all due respect to Accrington, they've got to be picking up points against them, you know, to us in the current situation they're in at the moment. So, yeah, that would have been one. Again, it's looking at it. I mean, a good win for Port Vale away from home, actually, in Milton Keynes. You know, that's not an easy place to go to. They've started the season really well. They have Port Vale. I think everyone probably would expect them to be in and around the playoff area, and that's where they're sort of in and about at the moment. So, obviously, I think it's I think they're third at the moment, isn't it? So, yeah, they're in a good place, and you know, Milton Keynes is all going wrong for them a little bit at the moment, isn't it? Everyone expecting them to steamroll their way back to the top, but it's not quite happened so far for them. So, yeah, that's probably two big results in the row. But obviously, got to give a special mention as well for our Gen here, Morecambe getting their first win on the board, you know, at last. So,
you know what? I'll go on to it later, but it wasn't the result. It was the fact that Liam was there and he was doing the press that day and he was on the pitch and he was recording it. I think that was probably the best moment for me for him to come home and tell me all about it. Because obviously I was at work. I was stuck at work. I was like, the one game I wanted to go to and we won. But it's fine. I'm going on Saturday. We're going to win then. It's fine. It's fine.
That's the thing. Barrow's like they're in a good place at the moment. You know, they've started the season brilliantly, and it just shows that we've been talking for weeks and weeks. I think like Morecambe have been so close. Once they get that first result, that really will give them the kickstart they need. And they've been close. That's the thing. They've been beaten in pretty much most of the games they've been involved in. So, you know, fully deserved and well done as well, because that's a big result away from home. It's not an easy place to go to, Holker Street.
No, it's horrible stands as well.
Really pleased with Jen.
Do you know what, Jen? I'll let you have your moment. Go on, girl. Go on, girl. I was going to let you stew, but I can't do it to you both. I can't do it. Go on.
Honestly, the relief after that game felt like nothing else. It was one of them games. It was a bit like, we don't know if we're going to win here, or they're going to get a last-minute winner, or we're going to get a last-minute winner. It was kind of that game where you didn't know which way it was going, and it felt like, oh my God, are we going to lose? Is this it? We've took so many fans. It's literally across the road. Like, we don't want to come home and be miserable. So it's like, it was one of them games where it was like, we need to do this. Like, obviously, Aki were drawing at the time. It was like, if we can score, this is us out of the relegation zone. Obviously, we're now back in it, thanks to Aki, but it's fine. I'm not bitter at all.
Come on, Rebecca.
But honestly, I just think it was one of them games where it just felt like we had the team. The team was there, and I think winning in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy obviously helped the boys massively. And like Luke mentioned before, we did have Tom White back, and I have to say, having him back in the squad pushed them boys so much harder, because he's one of them that screams and shouts and tells people where to go and what to do. And I think having him back was huge for us, because he's just one of them incredible players, and I feel so lucky that we've got him. But for the goal, I keep saying it, Adam Lewis is unbelievable. I generally don't know how he was a free agent. I generally don't know how we got so lucky to pick him up, because when he gets that ball on his feet and he's crossing it into the box, you know you're getting a goal, because he is that good of a player. And I think Stu, again, incredible. I say it a lot, but Stu has really performed this year. Obviously, we lost him last year because he had a really bad hip injury. And since he's come back this season, he's been unbelievable. He's made a few mistakes here and there, but he's the first person to go and say, all right, I've done wrong. I'm going to go into training and I'm going to fix it. And he has been unbelievable. And I think getting that win at Barrow, especially against Barrow, because we don't like Barrow. He is one of them teams that we just do not like. I think getting it a win in a local derby was an incredible, like, it just felt like, oh my God, the relief. We've done it. We've won a game. And I think the ending was the best part for us, because obviously all the players were going over to the fans, being like, cheering them, going up to them, saying all these things. And to see Derek Adams get involved in that was so special, because he's not just a manager. Like, he's been there through the ups, the downs, the in-betweens. He's got us promoted. He's been there when we've got relegated. He's back again for the third time. And it's like he has the lowest budget and he's managed to get this group of lads together that are probably some of the best. Most of them are free agents, most are from National League. And to get them up into League Two and get them performing is incredible. And I just think what he's doing there, he deserves so much more credit. And I think this win now is going to push the boys onwards. We're at home on Saturday. The fans are buzzing. Like, we honestly feel like this is it now. If we can win on Saturday, I think we can get ourselves out of that relegation zone and get up. And if we survive, Derek Adams deserves so much credit because he has done like the most unbelievable job. And also, Liam's been put forward for an award for the Northwest Football Awards for an unsung hero because he has been volunteering with Morecambe for 3 years. And Derek Adams literally texted him and said, "Well done, can't wait to go with you." I think I'm going as well.
Yay!
He literally texted him and said, "Well done, mate, you deserve this." And for Liam to get something like that, it's not just like, it's not a club, like it's a family. Yeah. So I feel like now this is it for all of us to push forward, push on, get these wins, and hopefully get this ownership sorted as soon as possible. But winning against Barrow was one of the best things that happened because it feels like that's it now. We've got that win. We've been so close to winning. And now we finally got it. It feels like, oh my God, that's it. Let's beat MK on Saturday and it'll be the best day ever.
I really hope so anyway. I really hope so anyway, but because I love Morecambe as well, but just because it's MK.
Yeah, everyone needs to like be on our side on Saturday, okay?
Is there anywhere anyone can vote as well, Jen, for Liam? Is there
I'm not too sure if it's a voting system or it's a judging system. We don't fully know yet, but as soon as I know, I will put it in.
Yeah, let us know if we can, because I'll share it and everything, 100%.
Yeah.
And obviously Graham is known for his one-liners, so he's put Morecambe rolled out the Barrow. Rebecca, do you know what? I'm going to let you have your moment now. So go on, girl. Go on, girl.
I don't think I've experienced an away win like that in ages. I mean, I think a few seasons ago, when first started going away matches with Aki, I think we saw 2 in a season, 2 wins away. That was the season we got relegated. And it always seems to be aways where our like downfall has been. We struggle. We do have our ups and downs. And then to finally see a win away to who were second in the league at the time. Yeah, they've had like the bit of a dip in form recently, but you're going up against an in-form side who were second. They've been flying, they've been scoring goals for fun, and we've been how we have, but they made the very, very long journey worth it, and I couldn't be prouder of them. It was the best performance we've seen this season. We had a few changes to the side. Jake Batty was back. Unfortunately, Seamus Keneally did get injured in the first half. He will be a big miss in our midfield. Him and Sean Morley run that midfield together, and the partnership is incredible for us. So he is going to be a big miss, and we did think that would affect us in the match. But they dug deep, and it was nice to see a late goal going for us for once. Like, it went in our favor. It wasn't a case of it was 2-2. It was we got the win through a 94th minute winner through Dara Costello, who I cannot thank Burnley enough for. He has been incredible. He slotted into our side perfectly. It was a very annoying goal to concede, and we're always going to say that because we have had our issues when we have gone 1-0 down to not come back from that. We've dropped, let our heads drop, and that's just been us done for the rest of the match. It was a mistake from the keeper. It was one of them. I think he had about 4 different options. He could have kicked it, punched it, caught it, and it just dropped and they tapped it home. But they dug deep. They did what they had to. Ben Woods getting the first goal. Took a few deflections, but it's his goal. Sprinting towards the away end, in which we took 71 fans. So it wasn't too bad. They didn't have to open the scaffolding for us. We got our own little bit in a proper stand. We did have a few missed chances in the second half, and it was at that point that we knew we could take this match. Heading into it, I was like, I'm happy with a draw. To get a draw against Gillingham for us is massive. We saw the Morecambe were winning, and it was a case of, right, we're still in it, we've still got a chance. And then Dara Costello, really well worked goal. It was that like breath that you just let out at the end of it. It was just, I can't even. And then we're on to Barrow on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff, which it still baffles me the fact Aki and Barrow have been picked for TV. But if anyone wants to watch it, it's on. But I do have to say, one of the best things to come from that match was at the end, the players did their talk, and Doolan pushed all of the players to come to the fans and thank them for the support, thank them for travelling down. And it was just that little bit made everything. Like seeing the players happy, the relief on their faces, like it was just it felt like a togetherness of the club, and it felt just the most positive we have been. So I'm very happy with that one, and just got to keep pushing on because, as we said, one win and you're off. We've got another one. We're focusing on the league rather than the Bristol Street Mortars with the team we put out against Tranmere. So it was just one of them where our main focus, it does seem to be the league, and we're doing that. And yeah, it's a happy time being a Aki fan at the moment.
Yay! I love it when you girls are happy. It's about time as well, isn't it?
I know. It feels like about 50 years since we were both happy.
Just a quick question as well, Rebecca. Is Costello on loan?
Yes, we're all experiencing the never fall in love with a lone player because we all have already. So that'll be another one that hurts at the end of the season.
We can get Ant to write a song, though. It works. It works. Kieran has put, our very own Kieran has put, how was the away day? Gillingham is forever my favourite away day. Really?
I'm doing it next March. You're all making me feel like I don't want to go now.
Don't go. The nicest way possible.
If you don't take a lot of fans, so if you take around 71, you won't be in the scaffolding bit because it started absolutely lashing it down halfway through the match and it's just uncovered. So if we were there, we would have been drowned.
See, this is my thing. This is why I like Gillingham. Graham said that it's not somewhere you'd want to live. It's not that I want to live there. No chance. I can have a day off. It's the actual trip itself. I found quite nice. The one time I went to it, final day of the season, sun's out, packed out away end, everything's good. Second time I went, we brought about 50 fans and we were sat in the side bit. So, I've just been very lucky with the weather, guys. Maybe that's the reason. Because I've got the weather and it's not right away day.
Fair enough. Also, a quick observation by Simon. Kieran, it looks like someone's drawn on your top lip with a pencil. Yeah,
I realise now that I've not got the fringe that's down here, right? You can see the slug that's on the top of my lip. Yeah, cheers for that, Simon. Man. Day's ruined. Back's
And Alex said he wishes he was at Gillingham on a sunny day.
I mean, to be fair, it's probably going to rain when we're there, so...
Yeah, I mean, if it's raining and it's miserable, I will be fair. But there's a good chip shop about 5 minutes from the ground. I don't remember the name of it, but it does bang. Really good quality chips.
Jen.
I will try that chippy. I'll let you guys
know. I'm going to find the name of that chippy and send it over to you. It's a banging chippy.
When I was asking my dad about any talking points he had from the match, he goes, the pies were really good. So, if that's anything, but honestly, I'd do Gillingham again if it meant we won 2-1. I'd happily experience it again.
Oh, yeah,
maybe not the 5-hour journey there and back, though. That weren't great.
That's a good point. We won there twice as well. Maybe that's the only reason I like it. Any other away day I go to, we lose every time.
Well, we lost in the playoff semi-final on TV, and I was sat in the final destination end, and it pissed it down. So I had a great time.
I'm never going back there ever
Yeah.
again.
We've lost 2 playoff finals. I was not either of them, but there.
Was it at Gillingham, though, in the
No,
final
it's
destination stand? Did
It was
you fear for
Tranmere
your
and then
life?
followed the next season by Morecambe. So there we are.
Did your player, who Dietrich will know, Rory McArdle, score an own goal?
No.
Did
No,
Robert, what's he called now? Oh, what was he
The
called?
trauma.
one of them was an 89th minute goal. One of them was an additional time penalty that's never a penalty in my bloody life. The
Well,
worst
Kieran.
decision I've ever seen in my life.
Well,
But there we
Kieran,
are.
did Newport win this week? And do you want to talk about it?
No, we lost 1-0. It was potentially
I know
the
you
worst
did,
game
but
of
carry on.
football. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't even coming out here to talk about the game because it was that daft. The context, we had to play our second choice keeper, Jacob Carney, because Nick Townsend was on international duty. And the games that he's played up to now, we've noticed that, he can be a bit unsettled. He's prone to an error, but it is what it is when you're a young keeper and whatnot. The one chance that was developed in that game, ball's come into the box. Jacob Kearney's kind of tried to claim it, but it's absolutely pissing down. He drops the ball and it just falls to the arrogant man who scores from about 2 yards out, and that was it. Harrogate are the worst side I've seen this season, but that's the worst we've played this season. So
the
it
worst
was
time
crap.
they beat you.
It was an awful game of football, to be honest with you, but I'm not fussed. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some, as they say, but it was crap. Awful spending of £2.50 to listen to that, because the commentators were just going, the ball's gone forward and it's gone back. Forward, back. That was it. The entire game. In case you
Sounds
couldn't
like a
tell,
thriller.
the League Two football at Harrogate's ground on Saturday was riveting.
Oh, funny.
Aled, I love you really, mate. You know I like winding you up.
In the chat as well, Sean has said there's a brilliant fish and chip shop in Great Yarmouth area, but I don't think I'd be able to say the name as the first part is a bit dodgy. You go for it. Just go for it.
As
We're
long
a
as it's
dodgy
not
podcast. We're not elegant, like I said before.
a dodgy
Strong.
podcast, because
An
that's
hour
why
later,
we're
it's gone.
nominated for an award.
We're a dodgy pod. We were all elegant, and then Kieran came on, so now we're dodgy again.
Yes! That's what I wanted. That's the only reason I'm here. Yes.
Exactly. I'm going to ask you all as well. Obviously, I've already asked. Oh,
No.
I see what, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's not great, is it?
I feel like
Suppose
they
it could
should.
have
I
been
feel like
worse.
they should change the name of that. Personally,
I just want to know why they decided to name it that.
yeah. Sean, can you send me over their website so I can ring them and ask why they named them it?
where you're.
Because that's an interesting name for a fish. That's an interesting name for a fish shop. I'll be honest with you. I gotta be the guy to say it.
See if they're on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram and message them. Do it now.
Why have you
Do it
named
now,
it?
so we might get the story
Yeah,
of why
alright,
by
hold
the
on, I'll
end
see
of
if
the
I can
pod,
find
so
it,
I can
yeah.
read it out. Going back to League Two, Rebecca, I'm going to come to you first. Is there any other standouts that you haven't spoke about?
I mean, Morecambe, like for Jen, getting the first win. I mean, you've seen what that does to us. Same happens with Morecambe. Those two are going to fly up league together, which will be a good one. I mean, Wimbledon scoring 4 against Carlisle.
Yeah.
And then
They're
Chelsea.
going out in Carlisle.
Really.
Yeah,
something,
really. Yeah, it's. I mean, Chesterfield and Notts County being 2-2. Chesterfield are one of these where they're up and down form wise, but they're always there and thereabouts to be able to get a point or quite like a few times 3. So yeah, I think Chesterfield are going to be one of these to look out for this season. I do feel as though I think they're going to be floating like mid-table wise, but I don't think they're going to be near relegation.
Well, Oh, it's not going to focus, is it? I've sent them a message on Facebook, and it reads, "Hello, guys. Can I ask where the inspiration of the name for your chip shop has come from? It's very unique."
Love it. Dietrich as well, if you do want to send in your match report, please do, because obviously we beat Tranmere 2-0. Good result, especially away. Any other standouts for anyone, or any you want to talk about? I reckon we've covered them.
Weirdly, that Tranmere Bradford one, it was one of the ones that I gave a watch to while watching the worst game of football I've ever seen in my life. I generally was really convinced by Bradford after they obviously beat us, and they looked really convincing while doing it. And Tranmere is a really hard ground to go to. They're really good at defending their box, keeping goals out the net. But I think you got to give massive credit to Bradford in the way they took their chances, because there wasn't that much in the game, I didn't really think. But I think what Bradford have done in the past couple of weeks is actually become really clinical. They take the chances that they develop, and even better. So I predicted that exact result, and it came perfectly true. So ergo, it's my standout result because it's the first prediction I've got right all season.
Love it. Dietrich has sent in a match report. So obviously, Tranmere Rovers 0, Bradford City 2. She has put my match report. Of course, it was Andy Cook scoring against his former side. Goals in the 23rd and 72nd minute sealed the win. I'm so happy with that win. Massively deserved. And then she's also put, away form hasn't been great for us so far this season, so great to win away. Oh, I love Dietrich. She's always so positive.
This fish and chip shop place has taken all of my interest. They've got a 64% recommended review here on Facebook, which isn't that good. And I love this one review from Scott Wesley that reads, "Took too long to get ordered food and then got the wrong order, but then by then I had enough."
Brilliant.
He was livid.
Sean has also put, "Trust me to lower the tone." Yeah, we're all really intrigued now. Really intrigued. Why? We won't be able to talk football because our mind is on that fish and chip shop. And
if they don't respond to me, I'm gonna leave them a really awful review.
Oh, Graham has put that he thinks he has a theory to why it's called that. So, do you know what? Anyone in the chat as well, send me your theories. As much as how random they are, send me your theories through and we will read them at the end of the podcast, because I'm really intrigued now.
They got a Traveller's Choice Award. Look, hold on. I'm already hoping this shows. It's not going to, is it? No, we're not going to focus with a camera. They got a TripAdvisor Traveller's Choice Award for 2024. Well done, guys. Maybe they improved their delivery of orders.
Yeah. Or maybe that was better.
I like this table now.
We're
not in red.
I'll take that.
Top of League 2. We have Port Vale on 21 points. Doncaster Rovers are second on 20 points. Notts County are third on 19 points. Walsall are fourth on 19 points. Gillingham are fifth on 19 points. Barrow are sixth on 19 points. Bradford are seventh on 18 points. Dietrich is very chuffed as well. She's put, we're in the playoffs. So happy for him. And then in the relegation zone, but it won't be for much longer, Jen. It won't be for much longer. Morecambe are 23rd on 7 points, and Carlisle United are bottom of League 2 on 7 points.
Bloody hell, they are on game. Fair play. They stink. Unreal.
It's crazy how close the league actually is when you look at it properly.
Yeah.
We're 6 points off Newport. 6 points off 13th. That's 2 wins and we're up higher. So as long as everyone else loses.
Everyone just thinks too deep into it. Like, oh my God, you're in the relegation zone, but it's literally a win on Saturday and we're out.
Yeah.
We're not that far into the season right now. It's
All right. Cheltenham will be in there now come Saturday. Losers.
I just think there's worse teams in League Two than us. And sorry to say that, but there is.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I generally was baffled that you didn't pick up a win up until just now, because the way you play, you've just been unlucky on so many different occasions, because you've not had a game really this season yet where you've been entirely out of it. It's always a tight scorelines. It's just obviously fine tweaking little bits, and you've got that result, and hopefully you can kick on from it.
Yeah, it's just obviously we're on the right side of the 1-0 win finally, and not on the wrong side. So that's a positive. So hopefully we'll win on Saturday, and I think being at home and all the fans are going to be buzzing for Saturday now that we've got that win. So we'll see what happens on Saturday, and hopefully we'll be back next week, and I will be happy again. I'm not sad. That'll be fine. And as long as Adam Lewis and Tom White are playing, we'll be fine. All right.
Is it a double game week this week? I'd like to say it. Or
It's a double game week for National League anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Is it a double game week for us as well? I'd like to say it is.
You've got Barrow on Saturday 12:30, and then we've got MK Dons.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we've got.
We are, because it's Wimbledon away the Tuesday, and Liam's going to do it, so he won't be back till 5 a.m.
We've got Chesterfield, tomorrow, which is a TV game. Why? And then we've got. I think we've got Gillingham away actually on that following Tuesday. That's really weird. That's bizarre. Probably lose there now.
Just going back to the chat, Blade Ramble, he has put, obviously Jen and Rebecca want both teams to do well, but let's not pretend it's not dog eat dog. Who's got a better chance of survival out of the two?
Both. Cheltenham and Carlisle go down.
There's worse teams than Accrington and Markham in that league, I'm telling you now. People are going to drop points now, and Accrington and Markham are going to pick some up.
Yeah.
Michael Flynn going to his third club and still not being able to play Newport away. He's never managed to do it in the 3 jobs he's been at, and I don't think he's going to manage it with Cheltenham either.
I'm so sorry, this made me laugh. Oh, not that one, Graham. Not that one.
The wrong one.
This one.
I was going to mention that, but I was scared I'd end up sounding like I was swearing, so I didn't mention it.
Cod's Pot, that's an unreal name. That's unreal, actually. I love that.
I wish I went, just so I could go sketch Chippy and try.
I'll take a picture of the sign on Saturday for you all.
Right?
I just thought as well, it's a double game week, so
Yeah,
graphic.
I completely forgot.
Graphic.
Bradford away, really enjoyed it. All right, Alan, are you all right? I didn't enjoy it. It was awful. The
Right.
pizza twists are really good, though.
Moving on. So we've got a couple more leagues to cover before we get to the FA Cup. So National League North results. So Buxton 1, Hereford 2, Chorley 1, Needham Market 0.
Needham Market lost, God's sake, Anne.
Ooh.
We've got Radcliffe 1, Warrington 2, Southport 3, South Shields 0. Rebecca, any standouts for you?
I mean, Warrington winning 2-1. Another good result for them. Chorley bouncing back from the Warrington draw, I think, is a strong one for them with the, was it 97th minute equaliser for Warrington. But, I mean, Radcliffe are struggling at the moment. They did take the lead, but Warrington were just able to get 2 quite quick goals back to secure all 3 points.
Ben, any standouts for you or any you want to talk about?
Again, really, I think, Rebecca, I think, to be honest, it's a pretty standard set of results, to be honest. But I think, Warrington getting a victory over Radcliffe. But my prediction's going right out the window here, because I thought they'd be the surprise package this year, but maybe the surprise package in terms of being the worst team in that division. So I think, to be honest, it's always I think they're probably getting to a stage now, Radcliffe, where they're going to have to maybe adapt to their game in terms of maybe looking to frustrate teams a little bit more. Because I mean, obviously, I know the management team, they like to play full attacking football. They do, they're very passionate guys. They are, Bernard Morley and John O. But I think that the moment where it's going, they know that something's not right and they need to change. And to be fair, they've not been in this situation too many times in their management career because they've always won promotions everywhere they've gone. So it is a new challenge for them. And but they've got a very together group there. As far as I know it's been a tough few weeks, especially going out the FA Cup as well. Not a few weeks back. It's something's not right there. But there's the thing they're going to have to maybe adapt to. They had to do it at Salford for a while, when they're in the National North, and they're going to have to do the same here with Radcliffe, because their best chance of staying up is by just grinding out results, somewhere, whether it means they have to have straight teams a lot and nick a goal on the break or something like that. But something needs to change there because it's looking very bleak if you're a Radcliffe fan right now.
It's sad times, isn't it, for Radcliffe? Really sad times. In the chat as well, bless him, Chris has sent us a super chat. So thank you so much, bless you. He's put evening all, no Saturday game for Spennymoor, but a rare Friday night game versus, I'm not going to say it because this is in one of my, Charlotte. It's one of my team names for how I pronounce them. So I'm not going to say it yet. And you know what? I'll do it so you can practice. Farsley.
Farsley.
Oh, funny. But yeah, that is one of them. So that is a sneak preview to one of the teams. Yeah, Graham said it as well, Farsley. Jen, a team you're very familiar with and one you love speaking about. Southport, they got the win.
They won 3-0. Oh my god. No, I think I'll always have a soft spot for Southport. I just think they're such like a close-knit community and football team, and I just feel like it's such like I've always wanted to go, and I meant to play them in pre-season, but obviously it got called off because of what happened in Southport. So hopefully we can go back next year and get that pre-season. But I think Jim Bentley being there, he's such an incredible man. He's such a special man, and I think he's very, very good at keeping teams up and fighting up there when people are predicting them to go down or struggle near the bottom. He's like, nope, I'm going to do my best and I'm going to get them right up there. And the news came out today that he's signed his own son to Southport. So I think that's very special because there's a lot of pictures going around in the Morecambe fan page today of him with his son on the pitch when he obviously used to play for Morecambe. So I think that's going to be a very, very special moment if his son manages to get on the pitch and play a few minutes. I think that's going to be a very, very special moment for him.
Completely agree. Johnny as well, bless him. He has sent us a super chat. Thank you so much for your kindness and your support. It is much appreciated. I just wanted to bring this one up as well because a name I'm very familiar with because he used to play at Rochdale and I was only a young girl as well when he played. But big result for Warrington. Paul Carden, he played for us. First winning charge. Radcliffe had Jordan Holmes sent off at the end of the first half. I know. Not going well for him. Not going well at all.
All need him.
I know.
That's the only result I can look at.
The last game, Buxton 1, Hereford 2. Are we surprised with that or not quite?
Hereford a class.
Really?
Yeah, they've been a different kettle of fish. I watched something earlier actually from I think it's Fan Hub. I think it was. They released a video on Hereford, like basically about the troubles and they've had in recent years and how they're looking to go forward. And it does sound like I think it's Paul Caddis now in charge. They sort of galvanised the club there together now. And I've always said that they should always be up there in that division with the support base and the history that club's got. So they've always been probably for me at least the National League side, to be honest. So. Yeah, I do hope they go and do it there because it's been a tough time for those Hereford fans in the National North for the last few years. So I think they need a bit of rejuvenation in that club. So I think Paul Caddis has got it in the right direction now because they're in around the playoff area, which is exactly where that club should be.
Definitely. I think there's some news out as well what I came across. Have they signed a player? I think it was yesterday, or they've got him for longer on a loan spell. So I cannot remember what it was, but there was a little bit of news. But oh, bless him as well, Johnny. I know it's not football related, but I had a really bad day. I was run off a road. I hope you're okay, Johnny. Sending lots of love to you and really hope you're okay. Bless you. Aledis put as well, Hereford are a League 2 club and should be higher than what they are. So, National League North table. So, Scunthorpe United are top. on 21 points. Chorley are second on 20 points. Curzon and Ashton are third on 20 points. In the playoffs, we have they're all in the playoffs anyway. What am I talking about? I've had a moment. Hereford are fourth. What am I doing? What am I on? What a nightmare. I had to have one, didn't I, today?
Yeah.
Hereford are fourth on 18 points. Chester are fifth on 18 points. Alfreton, that's another one. I need to think of some new names for you to pronounce like me. Alfreton Town are sixth on 17 points. Kings Lynn Town are seventh on 17 points. And then in the relegation zone, in 21st, we have Bristol Olympic on 9 points. Marine are 22nd on 9 points. Oxford City, bless them, are 23rd. Uncle Nick's adopted team on 7 points. And then obviously Radcliffe, our bottom of the league, on 4 points. Cannot believe I had that moment then. I can't believe it, but I was doing so well. Then National League South. Talk to us, please. Please.
Well, I mean, so it's a surprising amount of games considering obviously the FA Cup being on, but there's a couple of big standout results. Credit to St Albans. They're off the mark at last now in terms of wins. That's their first win of the season against a Hampton side that, like I say, rejuvenated the last couple of months or so under Alan Julian. So, yeah, that's a disappointing one for them to take. But St Albans, it's been a long time coming for those Spurs. They've been very much on the manager's back in recent weeks. So they needed that big time to sort of get them off, the bottom of the table now, which has lifted them now off the bottom. So, hopefully for them, they can start putting a run together because, again, they're one of those sides that we'd always expect to be challenging for the playoffs. They're very much a season spoiler, I find, St Albans, and then obviously mean that in a good way. They are a very tough side every time we've come up against them. But yeah, no, they will definitely they will be singing right all the way back to Hertfordshire with that. Again, so we haven't mentioned. Well, I guess we haven't mentioned them too much recently because they've not been picking up the results. But Dorking Wanderers getting a win against Hemel Hempstead. So Hemel Hempstead a bit of a.
Say it right then.
They're in a bit of a slug at the moment. I think it's 3 defeats in their last 4 games now in all competitions. I think is the bubble starting to burst now for Hemel because they were absolutely blitzing it at the start of the season, and something in the last couple of weeks, it's they've hit a little bit of a patch there. I don't know whether they've got injuries or not, or whether the momentum's caught up with them or not. It's hard to say. But again, you're always going to go to Meadowbank. It's always going to be a tough ask anyway. I know Dorking have been struggling with injuries again this year as per usual. But I had a chat with James about it actually, and he said apparently it was they should have been more comfortable than the scoreline suggests. So yeah, that's a big momentum booster there for Dorking now, who's slowly starting to climb the league again. Along with Bournemouth, the 2 sides that we talked about at the start of the season, thinking they'll be right up there. Obviously since Luke Garrard's gone in now, it does seem like they've gone back to what his style of football, which they're used to, and obviously now it's picking up results for them. So that's probably a couple of big ones in there, to be honest. So it's all very open, but obviously it gives us a chance to catch up on some of the points there, really, because some of the results there gives us a chance to, when we come up to our games in hand and everything like that, we can start pushing up the table again a little bit.
I really wanted you to go Hemel Hempstead. Hemel Hempstead.
That's properly. So, Hemel.
Hemel. There's no H in it when we were up north. Yeah, Simon's laughing at me as well. That is the way to be. Don't pronounce your H's, guys. So overrated.
What about Hampton? You're going to call Hampton and Richmond?
Hampton.
Or Hornchurch.
Hornchurch.
Not to say actually, just quickly on that Hornchurch game, I haven't watched all the goals from that, but I did see Hornchurch's goal, and I think it was the 96th minute. It was a cracking goal. I think it was a free kick right from the right-hand side. It was clearly looking like it was going to be a cross, but the guy seen clearly a gap in the near post, and that was a cracking strike in the end. What a trip back for those Hornchurch supporters after that. We've been talking about that all the way home. Yeah, cracking strike.
There's a lot of people in the chat taking a mick out of me. Help. I do say help. Deirdre's put as well. To be fair, last week she did defend me and she said that she thinks that some of her pronunciations are very similar to mine. So she did have my back. And she's put, my friends the other day asked me to say the word pure because I apparently say it differently. Ooh, I'm intrigued by that. How do we all say it? Rebecca, go first.
You've got me overthinking how I say it now.
Oh, no.
Like I'm sat here thinking, how do I actually say it? But I just need to think of every option that I could possibly say. Pure.
Ben, you say it.
What, Hemel?
Pure.
Pure, sorry. Oh, God, you lost me completely for a second there. I was in my own world. Pure.
Jen.
Pure.
Kieran.
Pure. That's a really difficult word to say when I'm thinking about it.
Pure.
I know a few people that say like pure. Like that's a way of saying it.
I do a bit like I go pure. It's like pure.
Pure.
Proper for you. Pure.
Now we've all said it that many times and are saying it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a word anymore.
Pure just isn't in my dictionary anymore. It just doesn't sound like a word now.
Graham has put as well in the chat. I never realised the letter H was exclusive to us in the south. Well, I think it's just exclusive to anyone but me at this point, to be honest. I don't think I can pronounce them.
I don't say free correctly. I say it like free.
I say it like free.
Free.
Like
Free.
free.
I'm confused.
Sam has put, I don't get the way some northerners leave out the word the from the sentences. Deirdre has put, that's what we were saying. We all sound so different. I think I say it like Shah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. This is one person in this world that does.
I'm in a lot of stress. I don't know what's going on here, man.
So, top of the National League South, we have Farnborough on 22 points. Hemel Hempstead are second on 21 points. Eastbourne are third on 21 points. Western-super-Mare are fourth on 20 points. Torquay United are fifth on 20 points. Slough Town, that's another one I can't say properly. I probably got Slough. Slough Town are sixth on 19 points. And Truro City are seventh, also on the same points. And then in the relegation zone, in 21st, we have Enfield Town on 9 points. St Albans City are 22nd on 6 points. Averley are 23rd on 5 points. And Weymouth are the bottom of the National League South on 4 points. And then we've just got everyone laughing. Everyone laughing at me. What a shock. What a shock. Right. Do you know what? While we're on this subject, I'm going to get my team names up because it is that time. Before we go to the FA Cup qualifiers, you are all going to speak like me for a change because I'm sick of none of you speaking like me.
I'm going to say that one Welsh word. Pyramus as well. The really long place name. I'm gonna fit that in at some point. I spent yesterday making sure I could say it. I was livid.
I think my Wi-Fi will cut off at that point.
So, because obviously it was FA Cup and the qualifiers this weekend, I have got some names we are very familiar with and we will be very familiar with in a second on the slide. First one I want you all to say, they did play Bury and they beat Bury 1-0. It has got a H in, but obviously I'm not going to pronounce it. Abra. Rebecca.
You cut out as you said it. What were we saying?
Yes,
So it's spelled HARBOROUGH, but obviously me being me pronounces it Abra. So you say it, Rebecca.
Arbor. I think I missed out letters even more than just the H when I said that.
All of them gone.
Ben.
I think I have to think about how I say this now. Arbra.
But you have to say it like me, remember, guys?
That's what I'm trying to. So that's the thing. Arbra. It's not saying the H. It's
That
really
was a
annoying.
good one. Right, Kieran, say it properly and then say it like me.
No, so it's Arbra. Is that?
You don't get this on your average podcast, do you?
No.
No, mix it up a bit.
And that's why we're the 3-time nominated podcast.
Exactly. Jen.
Ambra.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it. Right. One that we're all familiar with. Farsley. Rebecca.
Yeah, I end up sounding scouse with this one, I think. Like last week, I ended up with it. Farsley.
Ben.
Farsley.
You nailed it. Oh, Ben. Do you know what? So far, you're winning this, Ben. You're winning this.
The most southern person out of all of you is winning it.
Exactly. Kieran, Farsley.
Farsley.
That was a good one.
There we go. I'll take that.
Jen, go on.
Farsley.
That was a good one. I think the best two on that one was definitely Ben and Kieran. I think Ben just edges it. Right, let me find another one. Right, this is a good one. But I'm so sorry, Luke. I'm so sorry, Luke, because I did beat you.
What's coming?
Oh, I know who's coming.
Nusford.
Wait, how did you pronounce it?
Nusford.
Hendersford?
What?
Wait,
Nusford.
Ednesford.
Nusford.
Ednesford.
Oh,
Rebecca.
I'm saying it.
Ednesford.
Ednesford. That sounds like I'm speaking another language.
I'm trying to think about it now about them to break it down. That's the thing. Hendersford. That's too posh, that.
Ed or Ed?
You've not got this one. Kieran.
What is it? Ed or End? Ednesford.
It's spelled Hednesford.
So it's Ednesford.
Yeah, but you've got to say it like me.
Yeah, no. Ednesford. Get rid of
Jen.
Ednesford.
That won that round.
It's like I'm trying to say a character.
shocking attempt from us like that. That was awful.
Do you know what? That won that round, Jen. But overall, I'm going to have to give it to Ben. Because like you said, he's the most southern out of all of you. And he spoke like me more times. So go on, Ben.
I don't think I deserve that at all, but okay.
I don't think
Always.
any of us.
That's how I pronounce it.
Ednesford.
Oh, bless him, Luke's spot. It's my signal cut out during that part. And bless, he sent us another.
Oh,
Add another club to chairman problems. Blythe Spartans. They have had their next 2 Northern Premier League games called off due to people quitting. It is in the pipeline as well. We should be having a special episode with Blythe Spartans. I think Sam is doing it with Grimmy from our Premier League podcast because he does follow Blythe Spartans. So we will keep you updated on that one. Hopefully try and get some of the news on them out there. So there's a lot more people who do see it and familiarise with it as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be very soon. But yeah, I think it's...
Because they're one of the big names in non-league football, aren't they, as well? You know, with their FA Cup journeys in the past. I mean, everyone calls them the original history makers before obviously we knew about last season. So, yeah, no, I've always aspired with Blythe Spartans now as a football club and what their history represents. So I do hope they get it sorted out down there because, like I say, we've all been there, as we always say, with our clubs with financial trouble. But Blythe Spartans in particular is a historic name in particularly in the northern part of the country as well. But they're very well known to us down here in the south now. So yeah, I hope they get it sorted out.
Fingers crossed. I hope so too. Johnny as well. Bless him. He's done another one. Thank you so much, everyone, for your kindness. We really appreciate it. But we are going to talk FA Cup qualifiers. And I've just got a little bit of a feeling I'm going to really like this fixture at the beginning. Oh, oh. So, AFC Fylde 1, Rochdale 4. And do you know what? I'm going to talk about it. Obviously, it's against AFC Fylde, and you know how I felt about AFC Fylde last season and some of the things that obviously previously, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the game. First half, to be fair, we started off really, really slow. Wasn't the best of first halves, and then the second half we came out and we just absolutely controlled it. Absolutely dominated it. Cairo Mitchell, a name I don't want to say too much because the more I talk about him, the more people are seeing Cairo Mitchell score these goals. I think, oh no, an EFL club in January, please don't come for him. But honestly, he scored a hat trick, and I was so made up because the amount of stick he got the back end of last season, and obviously in pre-season, a lot of our fans were like, oh, Cairo Mitchell is either striker that everyone's going on about. He's not clinical, blah, blah, blah. He's obviously seen this and thought, do you know what? I'm going to prove you wrong. And I love a player that can prove everyone wrong. And this season, honestly, so far, it's just been absolutely brilliant. So obviously, he got the hat trick. Then Aidan Barlow, somebody who we've not seen much about because he has been injured, but we have got a lot of injuries now to our squad. Not very good. But he came on for Aaron Henry, I think it was, and we got a free kick. And what a free kick it was. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but it was a very, very, very good free kick. And then obviously we did concede a goal, but when you're 4-0 up and then it goes to 4-1, you can kind of think, do you know what? Give them benefit of the doubt. It was a bit of a thingy goal for AFC Fylde. I think we could have done better, but I'm so happy with that result. We did draw Bromley at home in the FA Cup, so I think from both sides we were both a bit bit underwhelming, but I think it's one of them games where I can't really choose a winner because I think we are more than capable of an upset. Obviously, on the day with the squad that we do have, Bromley are obviously in League 2 now. And last season, they were quite good games against Bromley. And we did lead the first game 2-0. Then we had a player sent off. They came back into it, drew 2-2. And obviously, it was 0-0 for vast majority of the game at their ground last season, and then just in injury time they obviously got the winner, so I think it'll be quite close between us. The only thing I am very worried about now is our squad and the injuries, because they really are creeping up, and it's not just the odd player, it's very key players now. Obviously I've mentioned Ebanks Landell, our captain, he's had surgery. Harvey Gilmore's out for a long time. McNicholas, our keeper, who we have from Wrexham, is out for 6 weeks. Devante Rodney, the same. Someone who we spoke about last week, Luke, Conor McBride's out for 3 weeks. So the injury list is creeping up on us now. But I think if it was this time last season, I'd be extremely worried because of squad depth. But I think the squad that we do have, and it's a bigger squad now, we are more than capable of still getting points and getting the wins. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't affect us too much. But can I say one last thing as well? Ian Henderson came on, and when Ian Henderson came on that game, I think we were 1-0 up, and he completely changed the game. He gave us that momentum. We were really up for it. So I wanted to give him credit because what a legend he is. Hendo. That's it now. Up the Dale, yeah. Ebanks Landell, he is a very, very good player. It's just a shame that obviously he did pick up that injury because I think he's in his 30s now, Ebanks Landell. So I'm just hoping he does recover from it because obviously he's not as young as he did once be. I'm just hoping he can recover from it after his surgery and then kind of get back to the captain that he is for us. So yeah.
I must have been just quickly as well, like say about the highlights. I think like say free kick was brilliant, but I think Mitchell's second goal was a class finish. It wasn't an easy finish at all.
Very good.
Angle was slightly against him as well, and so say chip it over the goalkeeper. That's the thing. He seems to be in that sort of form where everything he touches turns to goals, and that's what you want from your striker, isn't it? So that's the thing. Like I totally get where you're coming from though with the whole. Look, you want to keep him under the radar because we had that problem with Levi last year because now he's got a Bromley, so the chances are he might well play the game against Rochdale. So yeah, hopefully he just doesn't score the winner. That's all I hope. Yeah.
Luke as well, bless him. Do I really have to send my match report? You do. And do you know what, Luke? I have got match replays on there as well, so you'll have to send two. I'm only joking. Graham has put beat Bromley. But yeah, any standouts on here for you, Rebecca, on this first slide? Obviously, apart from the Rochdale result, because I know you're all really happy to see that. I'm joking.
No, I'm very happy for you. You said like Rochdale. I mean, Boreham Wood and like first round again. Them in the FA Cup does seem to be quite decent. So a 4-0 win for them is a good one. Sees them through, and I did have the haunting thought that we could get them away again after what was a very chaotic away match. But no, I think, for me, Boreham Wood's 4-0 is a standout.
Definitely. Ben, any for you?
The big one probably in this slide, Cheshire beating Yeovil Town. I think it was Stone, Jack Cooley scored a last-minute winner. Do you know what? Really pleased with Jack because he had a tough time away from football a couple of years ago where he had some mental health issues going on and all that sort of thing off the pitch. But, he's come back. He had to spend some time over in New Zealand, come back to the English game and, he's found a bit of new life now at Cheshire. And, for him to, I think it was a headed goal, 90th minute. And, pleased for them because, Cheshire, to be fair, on another good cup run again. Obviously made the first round last year, obviously playing us. So, they fully deserve that. But I guess I've got to mention them because otherwise I'll not be professional on this podcast. Tunbridge Angels getting through as well. Like, for them, it's the first time they've got through. For the first time, it's sort of 50 odd years with fans, if you like, because they did it a few years ago when they ended up playing Bradford City. But obviously, the fans weren't in at the time. So I saw some clips from their supporters, and it pains me because I saw, this is a big moment for them because they're not a club that do particularly well in this competition. So, but I've always got huge respect for Jay Saunders, one of our most successful manager in our club's modern history, and he's continuing his romance with the FA Cup and getting Tunbridge to the first round. So fair play to him personally.
Jen, any for you?
I'd probably say the Barnet and Chelmsford game. That looked like a cracking game, a big 4-0 win to help them through to the next round as well. I think it's great for a team like Barnet. They definitely deserve to be in the heart and going further and further in the FA Cup because I think they are a really, really good team, and I really hope they go far.
Kieran, any for you on this slide?
No, I think all the ones that are kind of major from that one have kind of been picked out. I think the standout for me is the Cheshire one, though, over Yeovil. Good upset, that one.
Completely agree. Right, we've got another slide. Do you know what, Ben? I'm going to let you have your moment. I'm going to let you. I had mine first, so you can have yours now before we talk the other games. So go and talk Maidstone.
I love the FA Cup. I just love the FA Cup so much. That is a big result for us. Look, Ebbsfleet, I'm going to be totally honest right now, particularly with you, Shah. How the hell did you not beat them last week? Because they were one of the worst sides I've seen at that level, and I thought we were bad when we were at the National League. Honestly, it's not me because it's our local rivals and that. Literally, if they stay up, it will be a miracle because I think Harry Watt is probably thinking, I've got my work cut out here. Because from the offset, we absolutely dominated them, to be honest. We probably fortunate we got a goal early on after about 5-6 minutes. Sort of long throw, wasn't dealt with by the Ebbsfleet defence. Aaron Blair, one of our smallest players on the pitch, ended up getting header, which may or may have not crept over the line. Personally, from my perspective, I didn't think it crossed the line. But, we hadn't really had the photo or video footage to tell us officially. But obviously that gave us a big uplift. And, from then on, we just kept going wave and wave after attack. They didn't really have any answer to us. We physically outplayed them all over the park. They just did not seem up for it at all, absolutely. And if I'm a fan right now, then I'd be extremely worried right now, because I know everyone's talking about they've got about 10 injuries at the moment, but the side they had out there was good enough to beat us. That's the thing, or at least give us a game. And thankfully, though, we were right up for it, though. I mean, we had just under 3,000 there, so, and good, just under 500 from Ebbsfleet. So it was a good cup atmosphere, proper Kent. I felt like a proper Kent derby. And then we're going to get our second goal sort of just after half an hour. Good work from down the right-hand side. Take Trusty, nodded it onto John Benton. Aaron Blair flicks it onto John Benton, chipped it over the top for Anthony Papadopoulos on loan from Crawley, and managed to squeeze it past Mark Cousins. Should have done better. He should have saved it, to be honest. But, you've got to take your luck as in when it comes, really. And so I'm really pleased for him, because he's been he's been an outstanding player the last couple of games. We're starting to see the best of him now. That's sort of, the half time, to be honest. I hadn't heard it much from away supporters this year, but there was massive chorus of boos from the Ebbsfleet fans, because they were completely outplayed all over the park. And, second half, I would have thought they might have come out the blocks a bit faster. And to be fair, for the first five minutes or so, they did. They had a good chance to sort of slip the ball through to Rakesh Bingham. I think he's just come back from injury. Andre Jr. did really well to stand his ground, and make an important block. And then that was really the big game-changing moment, because about sort of 3-4 minutes later, George Fowler put a beautiful ball to the back post for Papadopoulos, who nodded it across goal, and Blair couldn't miss, really, sort of headed it on the line. And, I think our fans really enjoyed it. That's the thing. We love a Kent derby win, and to be fair, Ebbsfleet have done their fair share of beating our team in the past. But I think that's our fourth win in a row now against them. And to be fair, if we'd won that game by about 5 or 6, it wouldn't have been unjust at all, because we were by far the better side. And that's the thing. Everyone's calling it a cup set, because obviously we beat a team from a league high. It did not feel like that at all, to be honest with you, in the greatest respect possible. Because I'll be totally honest, I think when I first saw the first 5-10 minutes game, I thought if we don't win this game, this will be a big embarrassment on us. And that's not what you should feel as a lower league team, but just the position that Ebbsfleet are in the moment. They've won one game all season. I just felt that, we had to take this game to them. And I thought a good thing, and I said it was a good thing we were at home. I think I would have fancied us at home more than going to Stonebridge Road. But so pleased, that's the thing. Money side of us is good for us. Another $9,000 or so in the bank, and a guaranteed 15 from the first round as well, because obviously they got rid of replays. Absolutely delighted. It's the eighth time in 11 seasons now we've reached the first round proper of the FA Cup or further. So that's a tremendous achievement for any non-league club, but for someone like us, I think 5 of those have been when we've been playing the National South or lower. So I think you have to win 3 or 4 games to get there. It's a big, huge win for us. We've always got a massive, great relationship with the FA Cup, So it's a big achievement. I'm so pleased that we're in that first round again. Obviously, a bit like you, we're a bit, sort of a bit of a anti-climax with the draw. Solihull Moors away, which is not my favourite ground to go to be perfectly honest. So, I would have preferred Altrincham to us, because I like going to Altringham's ground when we went there a couple of years ago. But it's a winnable game for us. Albeit our record is very poor against Solihull. We haven't beaten them in the last 8 times we've played them. It's going to be a tough ask for us. Especially with it being on the day as well. That's like the game be settled on the day. It'll be a big task. And obviously it's a bit of a bittersweet moment, because I would have preferred Altrincham, and also mainly for the fact that because we're playing Solihull, John Benton is on loan from Solihull at the moment, so he won't be able to play in that game. And it'd be a big loss to us, because we've started to see the best of him in the last few weeks. But absolutely delighted that we're in that first round, draw again. It's just being there, isn't it? And, it keeps up a good tradition at this football club, and gives us something to really look forward to in a few weeks' time.
At least one of us can beat Ebbsfleet as well.
Well, exactly, we didn't have to spot the goalkeeper off the halfway line. Our goalkeeper was actually stood on his line most of the time. So,
oh my God, might as well sat down.
That group chat that day. If anyone saw that group chat, I don't get annoyed often, or I can laugh at it. I genuinely weren't laughing. I was very annoyed. But we won't talk about that.
No, they're very poor, and they will go down, Ebbsfleet, to be honest. If they don't sort 100%. Things out now, they will go down without a doubt, because they were so poor. And if they're playing like that against a side that are in the bottom half of the National South, and you've got, I think, their next 2 games against like teams in York City and Forest Green, so it doesn't get any tougher for them at the moment. So be to see how Harry Watling picks up his players after that one.
Dietrich has asked us a question as well, but I will get you all to answer that question. after we've spoke about the football. Luke, bless him. So it wasn't very good for Luke, and I can tell because there's quite a few comments from him. So I will bless him. I will read them out.
He's taking my role. He's taken my role of being miserable this week.
To be fair, though, how many managers have been lost in recent seasons? And if things are on the up and then something happens, and it's a compliment at the same time, because obviously they're doing great things with Gateshead and Gateshead as a club. But bless him, for the fans and for people like Luke, it must be so frustrating. It's put, I'm not the sort of person that goes on a rant here. That's how it started.
Good
and
stuff.
Then, bless him. This is like free therapy, though. So please come on and rant about your football team all you want. It'll make you feel better. I'm not going to pronounce the team name. But he is put, home and away. I try to be positive, but there is all to be positive about from this game. And then he has put, quite possibly one of the worst and embarrassing performances I have seen us ever. Absolutely outclassed by a side who is 81 places below us from minute 1. I want to wish them all the best. Them all the best in the next round, because they pretty much fully deserved it from both games when we played them. And then he's put, I feel bad for our players. This Rob Elliott departure has taken its toll in the last 3 games we have played. Understandable too, to be fair. And to our interim gaffer, who was just watching the lads on match days, not even taking training at all, as he has other commitments involving the community. Don't worry, though, we have got a new manager, as Carl Magny, and as first team manager, and Liam Bridcut as a part of his coaching staff. Absolutely delighted about that appointment. Very good appointment, to be fair. That's all this put.
At least it ends on a good note.
They've got a new manager. They've got a new backroom staff. It was probably going to go up from there now that they have a fully first team manager in there now.
Mr. Luke, if it makes it any better, my friend, one of my mates plays for Hednesford. Zidane Sutherland, I believe he was on the bench for the Hednesford. But no, he plays. I don't think he came on in that replay, but maybe that makes you feel a bit better. I don't know. It probably doesn't. But fun fact, I guess. And Ben, I'm sure you'll love him. He was playing for Dover last season, so I'm sure you get on with him loads.
No,
he was only there for about. He was there for about 4 months, and I'm pretty sure he got the Dover Athletic Player of the Season, which just kind of showed how that season went for them.
Yeah, yeah, agree with that.
Chris has said as well about his report. He's put, my report for Alfreton away in the FA Cup is a short one. Officials screwing us of a trip to Notts County in the next round. Just a shocker.
I like that one.
Short but sweet. We will get back to the graphics as well. Oh, we won't because I pressed it twice. Rebecca, is there any standouts for you here on this slide?
I mean, a win for Forest Green. The form that they're in, it's quite expected at times. I mean, fair play to Maidstone. You've got to mention that for Ben. As soon as we saw that result, we were all happy. It's one of them. Keep a lookout for the pod team. So you see a win, it's just it's a 3-0. It's a great result. I mean, I'm trying to see if there's any others. One thing I do have to say is I am starting to get a bit of a soft spot for Kettering, purely just because of James Acaster's song and how many times that has come up and been stuck in my head. I can sing the whole thing. I'm not going to.
Kettering Town FC.
And it just keeps going. But
I'm not going the whole thing, man. I'd lose my mind.
Glad to see them with a win against Farsley. Sorry, I didn't pronounce it properly, but Kettering, if they go quite far, I'd be happy for that, just so we can keep hearing song.
Definitely. Any other standouts for it? I'm just going to leave it to anyone now. Any other standouts?
Well, I mean, like I say, Harborough, like I say, getting through to the first round. I think it's the first time in their history
I'm joking.
The first time in their history they've managed to achieve it. And I watched their manager's interview afterwards, and he was so emotional. He was after he had his kids with him and everything, and like it just for a club like them. And also, to be honest, I know they would have been the favourites going into that because being a higher league than Bury, but that's a big win because Bury took a good contingent with them down there. And that's the thing. You look at them on paper and you think, look, it's Bury at the end of the day. It's still a massive club, we're up against to get through. And it was a penalty that just squeezed in that won it for them in the end. But a bit disappointed for them because obviously they didn't get the dream draw, which obviously we'll come on to later on. Again, Horsham as well. I'll give them a big credit again because second year in a row now, I think they've reached the first round proper. They've they hadn't done it for quite a long time, and I think it's the third time in 4 years or something like that. Now they've reached it. So yeah, Dom De Paula, he's done a fantastic. He's been there for 10 years now at Horsham. I remember he took over the job as they were going into County League football, and he's risen them right back up. And they could be potentially on the brink of National South football. They're knocking on the door now, and again, the money side for them will be brilliant for them. So yeah, I think it was a cracking goal to be there 5 minutes in time that won the tie for them. So yeah, pleased for them to get through again. And again, quick mention for Guiseley as well, big winning over Kidderminster Harriers as well. They've had a cracking FA Cup run already, beating the likes of Scunthorpe and Kidderminster. They've not had easy to get to the first round stage, so they fully deserve to be in that draw.
Just a quick question as well. Is Phil Brown still in charge there? It was last I heard.
So. Yeah, I believe he's still there. That's another one you can't take away from. Man of Premier League experience and overcoming him, fair play to them.
Quickly go on to this one now. Any standouts on this slide for anyone? I'm just going to leave it free for anyone to answer.
I was going to let everyone go. But,
no one wanted to answer.
Just a quick one on Wokin's game because there was a bit of controversy in that one. I saw the winning goal from Harry Buteman. It came at a massive cost because, I personally agreed with Scott Davison, the Slough Town manager, because he was elbowed actually in the back of the head by one of the Woking players. And, obviously not intentionally, but obviously he's gone down with a head injury. And then about 5-10 seconds later, Buteman's gone and scored. And you're thinking to yourself, look, he might be playing it on possibly. I don't know exactly how much that would affect him, but obviously it's a head injury. So I would have thought the referee would stop the game in that situation because we've had that. All I tell you is about plenty of times where someone gets, knocks to the ground on the edge of the box and then the ref stops the game because, that's just the way it is. It's just the rules. Because for all we know, he could have been, unconscious for all we know. But yeah, I think that was a bit of a downer really for Slough. I did feel a real bit sorry for him, to be honest, because I like Scott Davis, the manager. I've got huge respect for him. I just thought that's a cruel way for them to lose tie because they were winning that game 1-0 as well. And they would have probably, if they'd got that replay there, I would have fancied them in the replay. So it's a big shame for them, to be honest, in the end.
This made me laugh as well from Luke. He's put everyone scared. Everyone's scared about saying for them.
Yeah, guys, my standout result is from versus Gateshead. That's my standout result from that slide. What reason, you may be asking? Because it kicks off at a different time to all the other ones. That's the only reason.
That's true. Replays now as well. So, as I mentioned, always, if you see a team in green, it was because if you see a team in green, but it's draw on the result, it's because they won on penalties. So, any standouts on here?
It was proper. It was
boring.
Yeah.
Try going there in a week's time.
I know.
Thoughts and prayers, man.
Do you know what? This is actually upsets all over, to be honest, because Gainsborough going to Boston winning 4-0. Who saw that one coming? 2 divisions between the sides. I watched their goals earlier in that, and they did really well. Some very well worked goals in that, and that's a massive disappointment that to Boston because they've had a couple of first round appearances, I think, in recent times, but they wouldn't have had it any easier, to be honest, for them. The fact it was a home Tuesday night against a side 2 divisions below, you'd expect them to go through, but Gainsborough, that's a massive result. I'm so pleased for them because, no one would have expected that. Brackley as well, the win against Hartlepool, which has ended Darren Soule's, time at the club now, which is probably justified, to be honest. I know, Brackley have got a good relationship with the FA Cup themselves, but that's, again, Hartlepool, for them to go there on a Tuesday night for their supporters, I do feel a bit sorry for them, really. That's obviously the big one. But obviously, the main upset, I think, of the night, Hensford going to Gateshead. Look, Mr. Luke, I know you didn't want us to mention it, but how do you lose? How do you lose to a team managed by Steve King? Honestly, Lord Farquhar himself. Honestly, it's this. But you know what, Hens? I watched the goals in that, and I'll give first bit of credit, by the way, for the first Gateshead goal. Terrific cross by the man Regan Booty, rated it big time. But yeah, Hensford, it looks a bit of a disaster almost at the back a little bit. I think the third goal was quite well worked, but a couple of them you sort of thought, oh God, like how they allowed them to get that space, because that's just Gateshead have never been leaking goals like that, in recent times. I know obviously they conceded, was it 7 at Dagenham not that long ago, but obviously, like I said, I think I think he's right. I think the management changes and that obviously have affected the squad a little bit, and it's going to when they were in such momentum and that in such a good run, and this tie for them would have been a good sort of thing for the new management to come into, thinking, look, they're still in the FA Cup. So, yeah, that again. But then again, now it gives, obviously, Carl Magny a chance now to focus on the league, which is obviously their priority, to make sure they finish in those playoff places. But, yeah, I would totally get it from a Gateshead perspective. A massive disappointment going out to a side 3 divisions below them. So, but Hensford, what a night for their football club. I think it's the first time in 10 odd years they've reached the first round proper. So, and they were, I think, a couple of divisions higher, I think, before. They've been like National North. So, yeah, big well done to them, because that's not an easy place to go on a Tuesday night or any time Gateshead, and to get a 3-1 win. Not many teams will go and do that this year. So, yeah, big well done to them.
Right. I'm going to ask you all now, and it's going to be in order. Rebecca, Ben, Kieran, Jen. What was your thoughts on the FA Cup draw? Who you did draw? The teams. I need you to carry on for me for 1 minute, because I really need a drink, because I can feel my cough tickling. So, Rebecca, you start, and I promise I will catch up. I just really need a drink of water.
Well, to be honest, I'm just glad we didn't get Tranmere away. That team have haunted me in cups this season. It was like Doncaster last season. We were never away from the place. But no, we are away to Rushall, which will be an interesting one. It'll be a new ground for us to be able to take off. It'll be an experience to go to like National League North, I think, team.
Yep.
I mean, it was either a 2-hour journey or a 3-hour journey, so I'll take the 2-hour with Rushall, so it's not as bad as it could have been. Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Anything can happen in the FA Cup. We've seen it before, so depending on what Aki feel like doing, I think will be interesting, because we know we have been more focusing on the league than cup. So be an interesting one to see what team we put out. But I do think FA Cup is where we will still have a bit of a focus in, because we've done it before. We've made it to the 4th round when like Premier League teams have been put in, and it's somewhat special, the FA Cup. So hopefully we go and get the win. I will more than likely be going. So yeah, exciting one, to be honest. I mean, if you're going to get anyone, I think I'd have preferred a lower team. Just, I think that's what makes the FA Cup the FA Cup. It's like, I don't want to be playing someone in our league that we're going to be playing in like 2 weeks from then. So it's like, yeah, it'll be a good one, and hopefully we get the win in the 90 minutes and we don't need extra time and penalties.
Yeah,
I forget they go straight to pens now, isn't it? Obviously, there's no replays.
No, that's going to be the big killer, though. That's the trouble. And but then again, Leeds, to be fair, in the FA's defence, they have obviously, obviously given it the financial incentive of £15,000 for all the clubs that even lose in this round. But to be honest, really, I've always said it's not about the money for me. I'd rather have the memories, because you look at like what happened on Tuesday night. How many of those upsets happen if there's no replay? I don't think probably any of them happen. So yeah, it's a hard one, to be honest. But yeah, again, obviously, like I say, Solihull Moors in the first round, tough one for us. But look, I'm quite pleased. It's a winnable game for us. But obviously, when you look to the size that was still in there for us, I would have loved a big trip to Birmingham or Charlton. Even if we had to go Wrexham again, I wouldn't have minded it. But yeah, it's just a shame. It's a 2.5 hour journey, and to be honest, Solihull was not exactly the most exciting time for us. But we've been obviously after last year's run, we're not really bothered to us. We're quite happy just being in the first round this time round. But yeah, that's good. In terms of the actual draw itself, I'm a little bit disappointed for some of the lower class because they didn't really get the big ties they would have wanted. I don't think Hensford got the big one they would have wanted. Harbour as well, going to go Tunbridge Angels next round. But then again, there's a couple of games in there you think, actually, for the I can't remember what game it was. I think it might have been the Tunbridge game or the Harbour game, possibly. You guaranteed at least a 6th or 7th tier side to go through. And I think actually, Bingham up to Hensford, actually, a 7th or 8th tier team will be in the second round, which is it's brilliant because that's what the cup's about, isn't it? And it does give that chance. But again, the whole point of getting to the first round is to get that big team away from home. And loves, like Chris was mentioned earlier about Spennymoor. I love Notts County away. I'm not trying to rub it in at all, Chris, but Notts County away is one of those times I had to go. Like, this is unbelievable. The fact that we were playing in the same league as them, even if it was for a year. It's a class away day out, and it's exactly what it's all about. If you lose in the full qualifying round stage, it's an absolute killer, and you're so gutted about it because that game could be the difference between getting rid of all your financial troubles for the year just in that one game potentially. So yeah, a bit disappointed for some of those lower sides, but again, there's some real standout ties. But then again, obviously we've already mentioned about the TV picks. I am gutted that the Milton Keynes Wimbledon game hasn't been picked because it's one of the games that everyone would love to watch because it's a big match, isn't it? But Harrogate Wrexham, that's what we all wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah,
sorry,
that's the game we all want to see.
It's after watching Harrogate, for a riveting 90 minutes on Saturday, it's exactly what I wanted to watch again. Bunch of crap. Proper winds me up. Who do we even get in the FA Cup? Peterborough, Shah's favourite team. Yeah, we did get Peterborough.
He's gonna score.
He probably will. I wouldn't be shocked. We were one step off of getting Birmingham, and that we were within the final 4 teams, and it was us, Peterborough, Birmingham, and someone else. So we were very close. Yeah, we were very close to getting Birmingham, which weirdly a lot of us wanted because our former media manager is now at Birmingham. So it kind of would have been, we made it a grudge match of the winner gets the media manager bag. So, we got close to that. I don't know. I think both sets of fans were kind of just, No, neither of us wanted to really play each other. There's no history between us in terms of, thrillers that we've seen in the past. And when I kind of think about FA Cup first round, I always like the idea of, bloody hell, shut your mouth, man. I always prefer the idea of us playing like a 7th or 8th tier side, just because you're not going to do that anywhere. You're not going to do that under any other circumstance. But I suppose for a Football League side, I'm really pleased it's not someone in our league, because there's nothing more gutting than seeing someone in your own bloody league in the FA Cup and then you play them a month down the line. It's boring. So I suppose it's different, but I just wanted somebody random in the bog end, middle of nowhere away. It would have been fun, but at least it's a home tie. I'm not going to complain too much.
And Hayes will tear you apart again.
Honestly, if he does, I might just celebrate. If he does,
yeah, just for me.
Anyone else scores, will be like, shit.
Con Clark as well.
Scores.
Con Clark plays for him.
Clark, yeah.
George Nevitt, Abraham Ado. The list goes on.
Basically, your entire
Con
team
Clark
plays.
never played for us, to be fair.
Your entire team plays for them. Basically, is what I'm establishing.
But one last thing, Kieran. Hayes will tear you apart again. Hayes. Jen, was you happy with your draw?
You know what?
It weren't Rotherham.
Yeah, it wasn't Rotherham, right? But it was literally like the other end of the country. Like, could we have got further away? Probably not. But I think it's a good tie, because obviously it is a non-league side, And obviously it's a different ground for the lads to go to, for the fans to go to. I'm working so I won't be going. But I think I'm most annoyed about it not being on TV. That's the thing that's grinding my gears, because I think if you put Worthing versus Markham on TV, that's a classic like FA Cup win. Anything could happen in that game. So I'm slightly annoyed about that. But I think otherwise, I think it's good because a lot of Worthing fans have been saying on Twitter that they can't wait to welcome all the Markham fans down there and see all the like EFL players and stuff like that. So I think it's so special for non-league clubs to get EFL, like actual football league, like up their clubs to go down there, because I do think we are going to take quite a few, considering it's going to be like a 3 o'clock Saturday kickoff probably now. I think we are going to take a fair few down there. It is a long drive. It is a 5-hour drive. But when it's the FA Cup and you get to see all these new grounds and see all the new facilities, see a different like place, you could make a weekend out of it if you really wanted to. So I think I'm scared because I don't really know what to expect because I've never seen them play. But also I think it's just, we love the FA Cup. And if we could get another like big run like we did when we played Spurs a couple of years ago, I'd happily take that, because when you're a League 2 side, League 1 side, non-league, and you'll go into grounds like Spurs, Ipswich, places like that, it's more the experience than winning. So I think I'd love to get to the 4th round and go to another Premier League side, because even though we lost, we did score, and I don't think I'll ever forget that, because there was beer everywhere. I was literally driving home and I stunk of it. But I think it's more the experience of having that, because you're never going to forget that day, because rarely does that come around. So hopefully we can get far again, and obviously the money side will help massively if we can get up there. So I'm really hoping it's going to be a good and exciting game. Even if we're not on TV, maybe it'll prove people wrong and say maybe we should have been on TV, because I don't think Harrogate and Wrexham are going to be the best game to watch, to be honest.
I think I don't want to be
playing. Ryan Reynolds owns them, don't you know? He owns that club.
I didn't want to be that guy, obviously, but I can see an upset. That's the thing in that Worthing Morecambe game, because it depends, because Worthing have got a certain way of playing. They're a bit like Dorking, to be honest. They very much, like to play right from the back all the time. They pass it along the back, and to be honest, it'll be interesting to see if they end up adapting to their game, really, because against a better side, they're 2 divisions higher than them, it is going to be a bit of a test to see, look, can we do it against these sides? Even like you just probably even doesn't really matter where Morecambe are on the table. That's the thing. It's the end of the day for them. You're thinking in terms of, look, it's a football league side. They're going to have a lot more quality than us. And on their day, if they've got a full house there, Worthing, they will create quite an atmosphere. Their fans do really get right behind it there when they're on top. So, obviously, I know, their striker Mo Fowl really well. He's a mate of mine, and if he's on form, then he will cause a lot of damage, because he's one of the best forwards in our league. Personally, disappointed we didn't get him. Thankfully, he didn't score against us last time. But if he's on his game, then he can be the game decider. But that's the thing. It's one of those where you think it has got cup upset written all over it. Whereas some of the others that were shown on TV, obviously more for the glamour of the FA Cup, rather than if is there a potential upset there. But I think that Worthing Morecambe game, I would have looked at and thought, actually, that's a one where I can see, a 1-0 Worthing or something like that. Obviously, to be honest, on this occasion with you, Jen, I hope it's Morecambe that win this one, because Worthing very up and down with what I think of that football club, to be honest. So if you get a win there, I won't be too bothered. So, but yeah, no, it is a lot. There are some good people there at that football club, but some aspects of it could be better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that one pans out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in the game, to be honest. It's the FA Cup, it could go either way. And obviously, we don't know what team we're going to put out. Are we going to put a full team out there because we've already got 12 injuries? Are we going to pick some of the academy lads and let them have a go? We honestly don't know how it's going to go, because it's obviously it's a backup week now. There's 2 games, and then it's the FA Cup. So it's is he going to risk putting the first team players out there when realistically we are focusing on the league? But I think overall, he will put a good team out there, because at the end of the day, you want to go on a good run and you want to get that cash in your pocket at the end of the day.
That's the thing for you guys at the moment. So they'll be taking that game really seriously, I would have thought. I don't think you've got any choice but to, really.
Yeah, kind of have to.
That's what kind of frustrates me, though. So it's like you've got a club like Morecambe there, you've got a club like Worthing from the lower leagues, not televised, and it's not even just a fact of getting them out there. It's the fact what the money could do for them, the money that you get from television. And I don't want to keep going on about these other clubs that are on TV, but you think they've got quite a substantial amount of money already. Why don't you give these teams a chance? Because what they could do by just having that payout from that game is absolutely massive. And that's what really does infuriate me sometimes.
Yeah, I think the money side is like, you think, oh, we could get a few players in January with this money, or we could make the stadium a little bit better and fix things that need fixing. But it's just annoying when you know you're struggling and you could get on TV and you could make the noise and scream and shout about the ownership. But because we're not on TV, we're not getting the airtime to be able to say, look, our ownership is, we are in trouble. Like,
well,
we need a new owner, but if you don't put us on TV, there's nothing we can do about it.
100%.
And we're talking about, let's say, about these lower clubs like Harborough and Hensford and that. I think they didn't get their dream ties, but obviously they've had to suffer for that because now they don't get on TV at all. And they, but then again, they'll look at it probably the other way and thinking, look, if we win, we've got a good chance of winning. Both of them, by the way, they'll be thinking that's £45,000 in the bank for us, which obviously would almost somewhat make up for the loss they would have had from being on TV. And they'd be guaranteed in the next round to be on TV. So I think you have to look from that perspective. But it's a case if you go out, you think, that was a big money, cash it may not happen again for some of these clubs. So, I do feel sorry in that regard. But it's a tough one to call, really. I know they're going to only pick a certain amount of games, but you just think, come on, but I give those lower clubs that will never get that chance again, give them the opportunity because they'll never get that.
Just going back to the chat as well, obviously Dietrich did ask us a question and she has put, we've got Aldershot at home. We got that same try years ago. Just we were away instead. Happy we are at home though this time. I think they did actually mention that as well, didn't they? Well, obviously they were live on air.
The Aldershot fans get to experience pizza twists, the lucky things.
Graham has put Bristol Rovers versus Weston-super-Mare, another derby that could have been chosen for TV. Yep, that's true. Luke has put that it might just go ground hopping for the FA Cup week. Replacing FA Cup replays to the National League Cup is a sad sight to see. I agree.
What
Do you agree?
great competition.
Ben loves that cup. It's his favourite, isn't it, Ben?
I'm not biting.
If anybody hasn't seen it, a few episodes ago, Ben had a rant about it, so go and check it out. Catch up.
Because it was worth it, to be fair. Total headlines.
The summary of his opinion of the National League Cup is that it's his favourite and he wants it more than Maidstone to get promoted. He wants to win.
100%. So, I want it so much now. I want it to extend it to the National North and the National South because I think we should all get that chance to play against the under-21 teams. I love it.
Always, I reckon so.
Me being all negative.
I mean, it's so great as well when you play in that cup and then your main players get injured and then they can't play in the league. That's fantastic. I love that. We haven't even played a game yet. We're ranting about it.
I love the attendances as well. Riveting atmosphere. I'm pretty sure I saw the attendances of one of the games being like 170. Riveting stuff.
Chris has put, no, Ben, just no. It loves
Why not, Chris? It's a great competition. I thought we all loved it.
It's his favourite.
I love seeing 200 people out in a dead Tuesday night and pissing down with rain. I love it. That's what I want to see.
Well, you see under 21s and then a second side from the National League play the worst football of all time. My favourite. That's what football is all about.
But even then, the under 21s sometimes aren't even the under 21s because you've got like 3 players from like the senior squad in. Because I think it's like they're allowed, it's either like 3 or 4 that are over the age of 21 to go into the squad. So it's like when, I know it's different, but when it was Everton under 21s against Tranmere, then they had like Jesper Lindstrom and Beto playing up against the League 2 side, and it's just a mismatch. It's like when in a few weeks,
Beto was still shite.
when it's Everton under 21s and Aki in a few weeks, there's talks of like Jared Branthwaite, Mikalenko, potentially like Seamus Coleman playing in it, and it just doesn't work. I mean, you can use it for fitness, but it just doesn't work.
What under 21 sides are in the National League Cup then? Because it's not the Premier League ones, is it?
Ask Ben, it's his favourite.
Ben,
I don't even bother looking at it. I didn't even realize they were playing some games this week on it. To be honest, I didn't even look at it at all because that shows how much interest.
There was so much content to look at that I was in awe.
But that's the trouble. The National League, Twitter page is just absolutely spamming it, thinking, "Oh, look what happened! There were so many goals in the competition." Yet all the comments are, "Why? Why are we doing this? Like, what is the point?" It's like they are propagating it now because they know it's not working already, and they know they've seen the backlash of it. You think, "Come on, lads, read the room a little bit here. I know it's your job." Read the room.
So many goals. It's a shame that 104 people got to see it. What a shocker. And when the players score, they celebrate by just walking away from the goal and just going to the centre circle again.
I watched some highlights from Ebbsfleet's one against West Brom, I think it was. And like literally their goals, when they scored them, pretty much treated them like it was a pre-season friendly. It was like just walking back to the centre circle. You think, what is the point? Like they clearly don't want to be there. And I dare say the West Brom players didn't want to be there either. So wasted time for sports. I hope they didn't charge much for people to get in.
I'm sure that 170 people didn't want to be there either. But still, my favourite competition to watch. I love it.
Oh, exactly. Give me the Bristol Street Papa John's trophy, whatever it is, Checker Trade trophy, Coca-Cola trophy, whatever it is now these days. I'd rather have that any day than the National League Cup. Mickey Mouse
swap because I'm fed up with the Bristol Street Motors one as well. It's a load of shit.
Should we make our own football team?
Yeah. Barry United.
Absolute football podcast match. Let's do it.
Fantastic idea. I love that.
I think
Keane Hayes to fill in at goalkeeper, I think.
No, I mean us.
Oh, we should play.
Like me at goalkeeper. Well, I'm not actually going to be goalkeeper, but imagine me with my gloves
I played 3 games in goal for a local side when I was 15. Does that count? I'm an experienced goalkeeper, guys. The best of all time, some say.
I'm sorry, I used to play Sunday League in goal, so that's my position. But then again,
I guess we'll have 2 goalkeepers, man. We'll both be in the net.
I'll be on Ben's team.
Well,
it's Kieran.
Please, very rare for me. I'm just saying.
I'll be on Kieran's team.
I'm going to get injured right to kick off.
You're all right. You've got a third keeper. I did that in year 6 of primary school, in which didn't really do much to keep the ball out, but I did invent the hedgehog, which is just where I'd curl up over the ball so no one could get it.
So I think we've got a team full of goalkeepers.
I was that kid that got picked last because I couldn't run.
I was the only child. I was the only kid that was like, "Oh yes, I don't want to be a striker or winger. Get me in between the sticks." What's wrong with me?
Jen, what position are you going?
Midfield. I can run. Let's go for it.
There's different ones.
We found our captain as well.
We need a captain. Yeah,
it's Jen.
Yeah, I'll be captain.
I was a goalkeeper on free kicks, so can I take free kicks as well? Because this is how high the level of football I played.
I've got to do something. I can't run.
This is how high the level of football I played. I was a goalkeeper on free kicks. I'd have to run all the way up the pitch when we had a 40-yard free kick.
Do you know what? Though? I did see a clip. Well, the last few weeks of Winchester City. Obviously, bear in mind they're 7th tier of English football. Then their last 2 maybe home games they've had, every time they've got a penalty, they've made the goalkeeper take it. And I think both of which against his former clubs. And I remember the goalkeeper used to play for Hungerford. He was a bit of a shithouse. He was. And I'm not surprised that he took both of them. One of them was a cracking penalty actually, but it just looks weird. It's like getting your goalkeepers to take the penalty on FIFA and that. You think when they celebrate, like it just looks wrong, and it's exactly the same when they're taking it, in real life.
Backflips and everything. He shouldn't be doing that.
He didn't try. I think he tried the Ronaldo Sue. He tried the Ronaldo Sue thing on one of them, and I was just like, "Oh, please stop!" So, Luke Kearney.
I can take a free kick. I can't do a penalty. I sky them all.
Question for you, Kieran.
Yeah, I may as well be, man. I actually think potentially the greatest goalkeeper of all time, man. I should be in contention for it.
Dietrich as a winger. Sean has said that I can take the penalties. I think at this point, Sean, with everyone putting their positions up, me not getting picked, I should just be the mascot or something, dressed up like
I
a
think
cow
you'd,
or
I think
something.
you'd be
You
a
can be
great
in
manager.
charge.
You'd be calm until we were 2-0 up and then gave it away in the final 10 minutes. Then you'd have a rant at us.
Just stay on your line if you're a keeper. Stay on your line.
Yeah, she's done the Rochdale goalkeeper that
I'm
last
going
week,
up
shouldn't
the
you?
I'm going up
I
the
know.
halfway line.
But yeah, I think that's all of the football we have got through. I mean, we didn't have much to talk about, really. We've still made it nearly a 2.5-hour episode.
We're good
I
at
mean,
that.
great content. But we did cover international as well first. And Tommy Tooks. If anybody doesn't know, his name isn't Tommy Tuchel on this podcast. It's Tommy Tooks.
Have you seen? Sorry, have you
It's
seen
alright.
who his assistant coach is?
Yeah, I saw that. Anthony Barry, isn't it?
Yeah, he went
German
through.
with a scouser.
He went through Everton's academy and then joined Accrington. Helped us get back into the Football League after being out of it for 44 years, I think it was, or something like that.
Must
It
have
was a
that.
talk like yeah. Maybe that rhymed. Gordon, I didn't even know it, guys. Incredible news. Ah, Shrewsbury lost. Shit. Title charge isn't on.
But yeah, that is the end of our show. Rebecca, where can everybody find you if they want more Rebecca in their life? And you got a free escape today. The
Yeah.
person didn't come and the person didn't come in.
You can find me here, _Rebecca_Shout_, and that is on Twitter and TikTok. You can find my Her Game 2 content at ASFC Her Game 2. And if you want to come and join the fun of F1, then we have just released our newest quiz, which was very fun to record, with girls in the grandstand.
Ben, where can everybody find you?
You can
Apart
find
from
me-
obviously going on tour, looking at all the National League teams in the National League Cup.
I was just about to say, saying you can find me on Ben Stones FC1, and I promise I do not talk about the National League Cup on there. This
He
is my
does,
only
all
post.
the time.
All the time. All the time.
This is
All
all
the
the
time.
time.
I've actually
I've
muted
been
you. I've
talking
actually
about
muted
it.
you on Twitter because of how much you talk about it.
I've had to mute him
Not
on Twitter.
mention
He's
it.
not quite like that.
Don't bother triggering me yet. Yeah, if you do want to catch up, Ben Stones FC1 on Twitter. So cheers, guys.
Love you, Ben. Jen, where can everybody find you?
Everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere. It's just Jen Hunt _ on pretty much all social media. Hopefully, I will be posting a lot of wins on Saturday and goals and celebrations, and hopefully we can get that win against MK on Saturday at home and go out and have a party afterwards. Is my plan.
Lots of goals and wins. That sounds like the thrilling National League Cup that Ben likes.
Stop it, you.
Kieran, where can
We're
everyone find
there.
you?
I've changed my app for the 17 millionth time, but I promise that's the last one. It's Kieran Media now, guys, because I have to go into
Ooh,
that. We're going
fancy.
into that. We're very fancy, guys. Yeah, do I do anything else? Fourth tier fever. Talk about League 2 every now and again, and about how crap Carlisle are. But yeah, other than that, I'm also talking about how fantastic the National League Cup is, and I relay all this information to Ben so he can post for his own original content.
I look forward to it.
And if anybody wants to follow me, I am SharXRAFC. That is on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it is on TikTok as well, I had to think. My Her Game 2 stuff is Rochdale HGT on all of those socials. And let me get the graphic up because I'm very unorganised and didn't get it up. But we are the Absolute Football Podcast. We are absolutely Premier League on a Monday. We are absolutely women's football on a Wednesday, and we are absolutely lower league, and that is on a Thursday. All of them are at 8:30. What are you laughing at?
Graham's comment.
It'll just be Ben on his own doing them.
I'll join you, Ben. And for moral support.
Ben, we're pitching a new show idea to you.
I'm going to get Mark Ives involved in it. I think he'd absolutely love it because he clearly wanted to discuss it.
We are on Twitter, Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube and Twitch, we have an Absolute Football Podcast. On TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. Instagram and Threads, we are Absolute Football Podcast _ and then on Facebook we have Absolute Football Podcast. And I just wanted to say a massive thank you to each and every person that did vote for us in the Football Content Awards. Honestly, it means so much just to be nominated, not just for one but two but 3 awards is just absolutely mega. But for everyone who did take some time and vote for us, honestly, we really appreciate it. For everyone who joins us from the chat, we appreciate you too. And yeah, I hope you all have a very lovely weekend. Bye, everyone.